narc will light up your spark. It's time for nerd shit in the
Da 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 da. Here we go, everyone. Special episode.
Woo!
Ready to go.
Yeah.
It's our musical themed episode of
Nerd shit.
Nerd shit.
Nerd Shit in the dark.
Dark.
Boom.
Nice. Bum bum. All right, welcome back, shitters, to Nerd Shit in the Dark.
Hey, hey, hey.
I am your host, Chase the Chaz Screepack, and I am joined by Braden the Brad Neilster.
Hello.
And we have a very special guest on today's musical-themed episode. We have, what is your name again? That's just a joke.
Exactly.
We have the singer. We have the performer of the
Sometimes.
Nerd Shit in the Dark
Oh, yeah, that is true. I
theme
forgot.
song on the show here tonight.
Yes, we've all heard her voice before.
Give it up for Amber.
Hello, everybody. How's it going? Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yes, so my name is Amber Leach. I'm so happy and excited to be here.
She's giving full name.
Whoop, I was
didn't
trying
wanna-
to.
I didn't want to give full name just in case you didn't want to put your full name
Nah,
out
we'll
there.
be good. It's
That's why
already
I
out
kinda
there.
paused
Yeah.
there when I went to introduce because I was like, oh, fuck, do I
Don't wanna
say the
dox
full name?
ourselves.
I'm already on the grid. I tried to get off the grid, but it didn't work. So here we
Start
are.
further on the grid.
I'll give my social security number out next. It'll be fine.
Cool. People will really love that. So we brought Amber on today because she's got a lot of fun things going on in her life that we're going to have her talk about a little later on the show.
Incredible.
Amber's a big musical theater person that has something to do with what she's on here for today,
I would hope so.
such as our theme for today. We have a few things to talk about, but we are ultimately going to be watching a High School Musical to fit in with our musical theme.
Hell yeah.
And then we are going to finally wrap up our year-long journey of the Step Up saga by watching Step Up All In.
And I am so ready.
Would you say you're all in for this?
I'd say that we're all in this together, actually.
Oh, I would say so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Amber, you haven't seen any of the Step Up movies.
So I've not seen a single one.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
And
So
I
you're
kept
going
that
in-
intentional because I knew that this was about to happen.
I think
Yeah.
it makes for funnier conversation later.
It sure would, because
Yes.
this is like the Avengers of the Step Up movies,
That's
the one
what
we're
you've
about
been
to watch,
telling
where
us,
it's
yeah.
all the cast from all the other Step Up movies are all in together.
Oh, good.
Minus one Channing Tatum.
Yeah, Channing Tatum got too big.
Such a huge disappointment.
I know.
He's not in it at all.
But these things happen.
Love that. And I have not watched High School Musical in about 15 years
I've
either.
never seen it.
You've never seen
never-
it?
He's
Okay.
never seen
I
it.
have
I've
very
only seen
strong
Bits and
opinions.
pieces here and there. We
Okay.
love strong
It's also
opinions.
been
Yeah.
years since I've seen High School Musical. I think I've more recently seen High School Musical 2.
Oh, yeah.
Like not
That one, like the golf course.
That
Is that the
one.
golf course
Yeah.
one? Yeah.
yeah, that's the get your head in the game.
Oh, that one.
I've
Get your
never
head in
seen
the
any of
game.
them. So
Yeah.
Well, I have strong opinions, but they might have changed in 15 years, so I'm not gonna lay that on yet.
we'll get there when we
Save
get
it for
there.
the pod.
Save it for the pod.
Yes.
Who knows? Maybe we will watch more later on and you can guest again.
Yeah. We'll
So you
just
got a lot going on, Amber.
I really do.
Can't wait.
I have 21 shows this month.
Wow.
Mhm.
Just realized. And then
Your
4
shows can
shows.
drink.
What's up?
So your shows can drink legally.
So
Exactly.
this is something fun that I wanted to bring up on the show before we dive a little closer in. But in a weird way, the three of us, we all know each other because we all have lived in apartment 18 at Regency Square together. We all met at
Yeah.
the same place, just
Yeah.
at different times in our lives. Amber
Such different times.
used to be my roommate.
Oh, yes. For an
We
entire
met
year
by being
plus.
roommates. Yeah, a year and a little change.
And I also used to be your roommate.
And Braden was a pseudo roommate.
Yeah,
and
I didn't pay rent.
he didn't pay rent, but he lived in my apartment.
I did live there.
So
So squatter.
in a
Good.
weird way, that apartment kind of brought us all together here today.
Oh,
So
that
that's a fun
apartment
little-
brought a lot of people together.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Sure did.
It's good times. 18 Regency Square. We can say 18 Regency Square because we don't live there anymore.
Yeah.
You could go to whoever lives there now and harass them.
The last time I was there was somebody that had some Disney like plushies all over the windows.
They also have a
Lilo and
cat.
Stitch shit. They have a cat. Yeah.
We definitely saw a cat 2 times through the
Wasn't
window.
that like Project House?
Yeah, it was low income.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah, so you could go there at your own risk.
Right.
And you know what? There are no more mice in that apartment.
There are
now.
no more mice.
Can
in that apartment.
guarantee.
Yeah.
We
There
could
are
tell
no more
stories
mice.
for days about 18 Regency Square, Indiana, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
But I don't know. I just thought that was funny. Like,
No,
we all
it definitely
kind of
is.
Met that way, and that's.
I always drive by it too.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, what's going on
If I'm
now?
in the area, I'll pop in.
Can you just imagine like what other people are meeting there and like the new storyline?
Yeah, it's like How I Met Your
What's going on
Father.
there?
Exactly
yeah.
is. Yep.
Rest in pieces. Okay. With that out of the way, we're going to dive just right into the show. We're going to do some new nerd shit, which
Love
Braden
that.
has got a couple things for us that we'll talk about. And then Amber, it's all you, baby.
Oh, great. Love
Nuevo
that.
nerd shit.
Nuevo Nerdchito, I believe.
Yes.
That's a little Japanese mixed with Spanish.
Good. Great.
What do you got for us, Brady?
Well,
Brado?
where do I want to start?
Brad?
Well, I guess to finish off from have a through line to last podcast, I finished God of War 4, not God of War Ragnarok, which
Right.
I found out is the game that comes afterwards.
Correct.
And the game very much at the end of God of War 4 leads you into Ragnarok.
Yeah.
They're like the characters are like, yeah, the Ragnarok's just about to start.
Yeah.
Better buy the next game and play it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, shit, gotta do that.
Which there was like a 4-year gap between those games, too.
Yeah. But yeah, when I mentioned it last pod, I had just started. I was in the just
Just
getting
the
into
beginning. Yeah,
the
you weren't even
loins
on the
of the
mountain
game.
yet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got super into it. It's controlled my life for a few days there, where I was just playing God of War.
You did plow through it. I mean, that was only 2 weeks
I
ago.
was plowing through it. Call me a donkey because I was running that plow.
How many hours a day?
There's some that was like I probably played like 6 hours in a day.
That's
Yeah.
commitment.
Yeah.
I'd also play a lot at night, get a lot of sleepless nights because I would
Yep.
be at a really good
He
part.
lives like that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
just
I
goes
do-
home
I do
and
have
stays
insomnia.
up late.
Of my own
Great.
making.
Intentional insomnia.
Intentional
insomnia.
insomnia where I just choose not to go to bed.
Oh no, but that's the thing. That's like what revenge time. Have you heard of that?
Revenge
There's
time.
literally a term. It's like revenge bedtime or something like that. I'm definitely wrong. But you intentionally stay up later because you feel like you lost that time during the day.
Okay, so there is a
You're
term
getting
for that.
There is a
'cause I see
term.
that
It's
all the
revenge
time.
something.
Yeah.
I think it's revenge bedtime. Not
Where I'm like,
positive.
yeah, because this is like time for me. Everyone
You don't
else
get
is
that during the
asleep.
day.
I don't have to talk to anyone. I can just do what I want.
Yes.
And so I'll play this game until
feel that.
4 a.m.
It's called revenge bedtime procrastination.
Yes.
Bedtime procrastination. Yep. Okay.
Thank you.
so
Fact
we,
check.
That's a
so
mouthful.
we
Thank you.
diagnosed me. That's what I have.
Yes.
You have.
Yeah. But yeah, so I revenge bedtime procrastinated through God of War.
Yeah.
Good.
Amazing game.
Amazing game.
Not super into like the hack and slash video games where it's just like you have to, there's like move sets that you do and you fight enemies and that's the game. So you just beat up enemies wherever you go. But there's a great story in the background of this. So we know it takes place in like the Norse mythology universe. Yeah, so like there's you hear stories of like Thor putting about and Odin up to some shenanigans, and the main bad guy, the main antagonist of the fourth game is
Baldur.
Baldur.
Ooh.
Yeah, no relation to Baldur's Gate 3 as far as I'm aware.
The video game sensation of the year. You know Baldur's Gate 3, right?
I do not.
Oh, okay.
I am more the kind of person that likes to sit and watch other people play video games for hours on end. And
Well, if
then
you
I
like to do that, you can catch us on Nerd Shit in the Dark on Twitch.
Yep, perfect.
Every
I was
once
gonna
in a
say,
Exactly.
perfect time for a plug.
You're welcome.
We play Baldur's Gate every once in a while, but you get notifications if you subscribe. So,
Yep.
bum, bum,
Oh,
bum.
good.
Yep, watch us on Twitch. We stream Baldur's Gate and have a good time.
Have a good laugh.
Love
Good
that.
laugh.
I'll put that on the background while
There
I'm
you-
doing my yarn.
There you
Go,
go.
yeah,
My
yeah.
yarn
Because you really
crafts.
just need our commentary. The game, the actual
The game's not
gameplay's
fun to watch people
not that
play,
important
even
to
though
watch.
it's the best game ever made. Not fun to watch people play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But it's fun to play.
but it's fun.
It's
to
fun
play.
to play.
Okay.
Not fun to watch play.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
I
I'm
will
sure some
make that
people like watching.
opinion.
So the bad guy's Balder.
Bad guy is Balder. He's kind of like this threat throughout the whole thing, and his whole deal is that he was placed under a curse as a baby, or like a spell,
Fair.
where
Aren't we all?
he can't feel physical or mental pain or like magical pain, and so like you can't kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can kill him, but he'll just keep coming back, and so like he's a pretty big threat.
Stressful.
Yeah. But anyways, amazing game. I loved the twist at the end. So I don't know.
Spoil it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't
Fine.
know if I should give spoilers for people who might want
Spoilers
to
for this
play.
game that's been out
Spoiler
for
alert.
5-6 years now.
But I will say, I will say spoiler alert. So throughout the entire game, you're with your son, Kratos' son, who's Kratos is the main character, his son Atreus, who is also a god, but he starts off the game thinking he's mortal. Like he's not told that he's a god.
Mm.
And, you know, that's kind of an arc throughout the whole game is him
That's
slowly
spicy.
figuring out that he's a god. And
It is spicy.
Spicy.
Gotta
Yeah,
have
and
some
you're-
intrigue.
you kind of come across like other parts of Norse mythology. You meet a few other Norse gods. You meet Freya. You find out like you meet Freya, but you don't know it's Freya initially until later on, and then she reveals that she's Freya, and you're like, holy shit,
Holy balls.
holy balls, that's Freya. But anyways, super
Freya.
cool. But we had talked last time of how I was excited to meet Thor
Right,
and
yeah.
Loki.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
those are like the two most
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
popular ones.
And I think
You know,
I just
obviously
was like, yeah, they'll get involved. They're
Yeah,
a little
you're like-
more involved in the next one, though.
Yeah, you're like they get involved. So you don't actually meet Thor in this game, which I was kind of disappointed.
Did you see
by.
his statue? Did you go to his statue?
I did go to his statue. Yeah, and the snake. There's a giant snake in the whole game that you can just look at. He's just like chilling on a mountain in the
Oh, good.
background. And at one
That
point
checks
in the
out.
game, he like eats Thor's statue because he hates Thor. And they like fight and stuff.
What a bellyache.
Yeah.
They even mention it. He probably has a bellyache from it. Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
But anyways, the entire time, Loki's not mentioned at all. Not even a passing reference.
Yeah.
And so I'm confused because I'm like, how is Loki not in this game? Like they mentioned Thor and Thor and Odin so many times. You even meet Thor's sons, Magni and Modi, who are like the
Ooh.
lesser Norse gods. And so
So where the fuck is Loki?
where the fuck is Loki? He's like the most famous one. And I was like, oh, I bet it's like Loki trickery. Like I bet he's like around.
Has to be.
Yeah, but he's like, you know, doing some kind of trickster stuff that he's like not showing up in the myths and the legends.
It's like hidden Mickeys all throughout the game.
Yeah. And like at the like so like
Hidden
the whole
Lokis.
plot of the game revolves around trying to get to the tallest mountain in the realm, which is in the realm of Jotunheim, which is where the giants live. And
Yes.
we eventually, through a lot of quest shenanigans, finally get to Jotunheim. It's like near the end of the game when you actually get into that realm. And in Jotunheim, we see another myth telling, like you can like find lore throughout the game about Norse gods and stuff. And this time the myth is about Kratos and his son Atreus. And you're like, whoa.
That's you.
Ooh.
That's us. And you're like, shit, like they
the
knew
fuck's
like,
going
we were
on?
part of this prophecy the whole time. This entire time you're thinking that like they're not involved with these gods because Kratos is a Greek god.
Right. From the other God of War games, you fight the Greek gods.
Yeah.
So this was
So he's like from
continuation.
Greece. So you're like, he's not involved with Norse mythology at all. But in this realm, you find out that their mother, who is dead in this game,
Of course.
is
Classic
a
Disney.
giant. Like it's revealed that she's a giant. It was
Wait,
assumed
is she still dead or is she alive in the giant?
No, she's dead.
But was a giant.
Dead
Yeah,
giant.
so the
Cool.
whole reason why you're trying to get to this mountain is to spread the mother's ashes, because her last request was like have her ashes spread on the highest mountain in the realm, which is in Jotunheim. So she wanted her.
That must be like a lot of matches to carry around. If she's
Yeah,
a giant.
it was the entire time.
Oh man.
Yeah, and so we get to Jotunheim, see this, and we find out that like this was all prophesized. Like the mother wanted this the entire time for like them to discover this history. And then Atreus goes, yeah, like it was weird because it's clearly us in this framing, but it doesn't say my name correctly. It gives me a different name.
What's the name?
What's the name? Because it finds out that with the mother being a giant, that Atreus is half giant, half god.
Mm-hmm.
Well, damn.
Yeah. And then he says, well, the name was something weird. It was Loki.
Bum, bum, bum.
I wasn't ready.
The entire time, your son,
Is the
Atreus,
trickster god Loki?
Whoa.
is fucking Loki. He's Loki. And so, that it totally
Your brain
clicked.
was blown at that point?
I was pissed at myself that I didn't figure it out earlier, because it was kind of obvious looking back on it that, like, yeah, he's not
Isn't that a
mentioned at
good
all.
twist sometimes?
Oh, wow.
You got to figure out how Atreus, especially when they revealed that the mother was a giant, because that's like Loki's whole thing is Loki was like a frost giant
A
or
mutt.
something.
Wow.
So yeah, that was a huge twist in the whole game, and it
I'm
blew me
feeling
away.
pissed.
And I'm definitely gonna get God of War Ragnarok now.
Yeah, as you should.
But
have to.
I've never played that one, but I've heard really good things about it.
Yeah, if it's anything like the fourth one,
Yeah.
I'll love it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was my experience with God of War. Highly recommend it. Sorry if I spoiled it for anyone, but you were warned, so that's
We
your
did
fault.
warn you.
Yeah.
This game has been out as of today, 6 years. Not as of today. Came out in 2018, like November-ish, I think. But like 6 years almost. If you don't know, you don't care.
Right.
No.
That's my opinion.
But yeah, that was the big twist. He's like, you've been traveling with Loki this whole time.
It's been right up your butt.
I feel like I went on
Being
this journey with
practically
you.
useless the
Yeah.
whole time.
You've taken like weeks and weeks, and it's just been 5 minutes. But I
Right.
feel
Did
like I had
did
this.
I tell it?
Yes, I feel
You
like
skipped
I
a
was on
bunch
that
of
journey.
stuff in the middle, but we got the
There's a
beginning
ton of
and
stuff. Yeah,
end.
there's a bunch of other
It's a
things
pretty
I
long
did not
game.
spoil.
It's like a 30-hour
Yeah.
story. Yeah,
That's what I
video
say. I
game.
had to do my revenge bedtime procrastination to
exactly.
get through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worth it though.
Worth it though.
Worth it though.
At least now you can identify what you were doing whilst you're doing it.
Exactly.
I guess.
Yes,
Yeah.
This
but
is
there's
my
a name
revenge.
to it.
Yeah.
It's not just me being weird.
Step
Other
one.
people
You can look into it now. Maybe try to find a way to get past it.
maybe find a cure or something. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope you do,
Possible.
buddy.
So
You'll
anyway,
figure
should
it
I
out.
go into my
Go into your second thing,
second thing?
and
Yes.
then we will let Amber just riff at
All
that
right.
point.
So the second thing for my new nerd shit is I recently watched Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer.
Ooh.
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer.
Barbieheimer.
Barbieheimer.
Black Squaddle.
Which is a very long movie about theoretical physicists. So the movie we're watching today is like the Avengers of the Step Up movie.
Mhm.
Oppenheimer is like the Avengers of theoretical physicists.
Great.
I've been waiting for that movie forever.
It's like there's a lot of like famous theoretical physicists in it. Albert Einstein's in it. He talks
What?
to Albert Einstein. They found a guy who looks exactly like Albert
I was
Einstein.
going to say, who plays him? Do you know?
I didn't
No
look up
idea.
the actor's name, but
They just
he
dug up
looks
the
Albert
corpse of
Jr.
Albert
like
Einstein,
Albert to a T, almost like they resurrected him for
but
this.
not with CGI.
No, he's a guy. He was a real guy.
A real dude.
You can actually cast dead people to be in real things.
You can. That
Fun
is a weird
fact.
thing that we deal with now as a society.
Great.
How about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. But it sounds like not a movie that would be up my alley, besides it being about the origin of the atomic bomb and like the subsequent droppings of the atomic bomb.
hmm
But it is a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, most
heard
of
good
it's
things.
dialogue. There is like a lot of like visual effects, which by the way, there's no CGI whatsoever in the movie. It's all practical effects, like even the
Ooh.
explosions.
Not
and
even
stuff.
dead Albert Einstein's corpse?
Nope. Nope. They reanimated him.
Nice.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
With
Frankenstein
real
situation.
practical reanimation techniques.
Yeah, but it's a
love
lot of existentialism, a lot of belly aching about if we should make this bomb or not. But if we don't make the bomb, the Nazis are going to make the bomb, and then the Nazis are going to have a bomb, and we won't.
I fucking hate Nazis and their bombs.
I hate Nazis in their bombs, so I was like, we got to make this bomb. so
Definitely.
they can't have it. And like, there's also
They convince you
paranoia the
just as
entire
well as they
time because
convince
they're
the
also
world.
trying to like keep secrets from the Soviets, who are like our allies at this point in time. But like, they also don't want the Soviets to have information of how to make the bomb. But
Ugh, moral
There is,
dilemmas,
like-
man.
spying shenanigery going around that they're worried about, because there's also like communist infiltration within like the intellectual circles. A lot of the intellectuals are like this. And Oppenheimer also at one point was like sympathetic to the communist cause, and so like they were all unionizing and
Yikes.
Yeah.
yeah, they're all unionizing
history
and
could have
like
been.
Ooh.
under investigation by the FBI, and that was like a whole plot point throughout the movie, is that the FBI was like concerned about Oppenheimer's past communist ties. But
Fair.
it makes it
Fair.
pretty clear that like he was sympathetic to them, but he's not like an official
Not one of 'em.
communist, and he doesn't like
Ain't a
Not
commie
an official
bastard.
one.
not
Not
an official one. He has sympathies, but he's like he's loyal to America.
Just like
But,
on the down low.
yeah,
Love
but
America.
the entire time they're worried that one of these scientists is going to leak information to the
Understandable.
Soviets, and then information does get leaked to the Soviets, and you have to figure out who done it. But I won't spoil that
Don't
part.
tell me. Yeah, I do
won't.
plan on watching. I
Yeah,
think I'd know if I read a history book or two. But,
yeah.
But it's
But
always
it's
a surprise.
busy.
it's a lot of science. Although the science I didn't find super hard to follow. Like I felt like they did a pretty good job of like
That's helpful.
presenting it. The thing I found hard to follow is that there's a lot of names of like actual people and scientists and stuff, and a lot of like conversations of people mentioning names of other people that you've only met like once in this whole 3-hour movie, because there's a
So it's
ton of
hard to
characters.
kind of keep up with the names.
Yeah, there's a ton of characters,
Yeah.
and it's all like real people, and it's a lot of like characters talking about other characters that aren't there, that were only mentioned in like one scene, or you only met them in like one scene, so you're like,
Yeah.
who was that? But I think they try and counteract that by having a lot of famous people play these side characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where it's like Gary Oldman's in it, Rami Malek, the main character from Sky High plays a scientist in it. Josh Peck is in it.
Robert Downey Jr.'s in it.
Yeah.
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 The guy who played Roderick from Diary of a Wimpy Kid is in it as a scientist.
How specific.
Don't quote me on that. That might be wrong.
I've never seen those movies either.
But yeah, and a lot of these famous people have like very small roles. Like they,
Yeah.
like most of them don't even have speaking lines. You're just like, oh, that's that guy. Bernard from the Santa Claus movies is in it.
I love
Wow.
Bernard.
He's a scientist, and like if Kaylee, who I watched it with, my girlfriend, didn't tell me that was Bernard, I wouldn't have known, because he looks very different, because he's like old and like
Crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Gets to us all.
yeah, no, it makes you think a lot about the morality of it, and like, you know, this whole war that's going on when they finally do make the bomb and like, you know, have a successful test explosion at the Trinity explosion. It's all like the reactions of like everyone's happy, but Oppenheimer is also like,
Well, shit.
like this is like it actually worked. So
Now we got to do it.
yeah, we're fucked. Matt Damon is in it. He plays a general that like oversees the whole thing, and he's kind of like comedic relief in
That's
a way,
good,
because
huh?
he's just like very no nonsense, but like
Love that.
To a funny point.
yeah, but to a funny point where he's Matt Damon, like he can deliver comedic serious lines.
Yeah.
That's fair.
He could do anything.
Yeah, he
Anything.
can't do anything.
Yeah, it's my thing.
He can do
He was
me.
on Mars that one time.
Probably.
He was.
Oh, yeah, he was.
He did live on Mars that
For
one point. He kind of
years.
is channeling Mark Watney a little bit in this
Mm.
movie. But yeah, it's the acting is superb, because it's all A-list actors in like
Yeah.
these super small roles, besides, you know, Cillian Murphy. And Florence Pugh is in it. You see her boobies twice
Great.
Two boobs.
in 2 scenes.
Two
It was
times.
I was
entirely
gonna say 2 or 4.
unnecessary. The first scene that you see it in, they're having the nerdiest sex possible, because she's like having sex with him.
I mean,
And-
hey, nerd shit in the dark.
yeah,
right.
and she's like
We all
not
get
getting
down
off.
with
Like
that.
it makes it clear that like she's like not having a good time, or like she's not getting off. And so she goes and like gets a book off of Oppenheimer's shelf and like opens it up, and there's like Sanskrit text from like I forget what it's called, one of the Hindu religious texts.
Yeah.
But that's where he gets like the quote, "I am become death, destroyer of worlds,"
Sure.
which is like his famous
Well.
quote that he was quoting. I think it's the
Quote
Vishnu
within a
something.
quote.
But
Quoteception.
she has him read this book while they're fucking, so she can like get off.
Oh, wow.
So she's
So
a
she's
freak.
like, read me this Sanskrit poetry
Read me like one of your
Girls,
French
they're
girls.
so
while I ride you.
complicated.
Yeah. And I'm like, did we really need this in the movie? And then, yeah, you see it again a second time. Not very important to the plot. It's more so just to highlight his infidelity, because he was like a womanizer
Mm-hmm.
in his time. And it also does a good job
Hard
at
to
like,
watch with your parents.
Oh, I'm
Did
sure.
you watch it with your parents?
no, I watched it with Kaylee.
That's good. That makes
Good.
it a little better.
That's better.
Yeah. But yeah, wholly unnecessary. I think they just wanted Florence Pugh's boobies.
Probably.
To be
in the-
seen. What about her booty?
You don't really see her boobie too much. There is one funny scene where like he's they're like just sitting naked. You've probably seen in like a still from it or something, where like Cillian Murphy's just naked with like his legs crossed, sitting in a chair, and they're just like sitting around naked,
Okay.
like
No, I-
sad. They just like
Sad.
he
I'll
just
be
like
looking
cheated on
into
his
it then.
wife with her.
I mean,
Oh, he has a wife. Oh, yeah, you said it was his mistress.
yeah, he's a wife with 2 kids
oh no.
in the movie. Yeah,
That makes it so much
which
worse.
his wife is played by Emily Blunt.
Ooh, I don't know what's worse, the atomic bomb or cheating on your wife.
Yeah, but she stays
That's for the
loyal to him.
audience. To
That's for the audience to decide.
Yeah, she finds out that he cheated on her, but she stays loyal to him. Basically, it's divided up into 3 acts. The first act is like, you know, kind of like the introduction into his life and like how he got to where he was leading the atomic bomb project. And then like the second half is like the Avengers of the theoretical physicists, where they have to go around and like gather up a team to all build this bomb.
That's Lord of the Rings.
And then the third part of the movie, which was my favorite, was a courtroom drama, which it was like the aftermath of like dropping the bombs and
That's
stuff.
the best.
Okay,
And
so
how,
it does
like-
go through like Hiroshima and
It
Nagasaki.
doesn't show them bombing the city. It shows them talking about bombing the cities and like how they're going to pick like the one scene where they're like trying to pick targets for the Japanese.
Jeez, that's dark as
They
fuck.
say like, we have 12 cities that are potential targets, and they're like, actually no, scratch that. We'll take Kyoto off the list because it's culturally significant to the Japanese, and my wife and I honeymooned there once, so we want to be able to go back.
Right.
Oh,
Which I
God.
guess is apparently a real
Yeah.
quote. Like that's a real reason why they took off Kyoto from the list.
Yikes.
Yeah, but they decided on
We're
Hiroshima
bad
and Nagasaki.
sometimes. Oof.
I mean, hey, be a tourist trap, and apparently you're safe.
But yeah, they decided on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Their thought process behind dropping 2 bombs instead of just one is because they wanted total surrender of Japan. They said that you drop the 1 bomb to prove that we can do it. You drop the 2nd bomb to prove that we can keep doing it, like over and over again. And it worked.
Dark times, World War II.
Very dark decision, but it worked. And then it does go into like, the after effects of the bomb. Anyone within a mile radius of the blast radius was completely incinerated. Like people who were wearing striped shirts had like striped burn marks like embedded into their skin.
Fuck, man.
Wild.
Yeah. And they said like some people thought that they were lucky because they like crawled out of their homes with like minor injuries only to die a few days later from like the radiation poisoning and all that. And said, yeah, it was a total between the initial drop and like the radiation deaths that followed in like the months and years later. It was like a total of like 220,000 people died from the dropping of the bomb.
That's a good bit.
Real
Yeah.
buzzkill.
Yeah, a lot of symbolism in the movie, a lot of symbology of mutually assured destruction, and they use water a lot as like a symbol motif. Like at one point when they're like picking targets and like showing all the destruction that they could cause with it, like they're like drawing circles around a map of like blast radiuses and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like reflected by like raindrops falling, and just like
I love me some good
I
symbolism,
do
though,
love
not
some
gonna lie.
symbolism in a movie. They give you a lot to watch for because, like you said, the movie needs you to keep paying attention.
Exactly,
so.
yeah. But the
They got some
courtroom
cool
drama
tricks.
at the end is like the best part, in my opinion. The bomb test
Always.
was like also great when you actually see it.
Yeah.
But like, you don't see them actually drop the bombs on.
Because the one thing I remember
Hiroshima
when we
and
saw Barbie, me and Braden, one thing I do remember hearing is it got like about 2 hours into Barbie, maybe an hour and a half, and we heard from the theater next to us that but we heard the explosion.
Yeah.
We were just like, "Ooh, the bomb went off."
Barbieheimer.
Barbieheimer.
That's what I'm saying.
I do
Oppenheimer,
regret
yeah.
not going out and seeing Oppenheimer when it was in theaters.
But you had to go see Barbie.
we did have to go
Yeah.
see Barbie. We made an executive decision to see that first. We like comedy more than we like drama, I think.
Drama, I feel, is like what you have to sit on your couch and like be ready for.
Especially when
Yeah.
it's 3 hours
You know?
long.
It's a 3-hour-long movie, and it is big into like like it's trying to give you an
Yeah.
existential crisis.
As it
of, like,
should.
yeah,
honestly.
the
That's what we
making of this
need.
bomb.
We need more of those in life.
Every once in a while.
But it's a super meaty movie. Obviously, there's a lot that I didn't talk about and a lot that I probably can't talk about because I don't remember it. But I highly recommend it.
I do intend to check it out, so we'll do a follow-up sometime.
Yeah.
And talk more in detail, maybe spoilery, but yeah, I do plan on watching it. Nice. All right, well then, I think
Yeah, that's it.
I think we need to move on to Amber's new nerd shit, who's going to lighten the mood. a
So
little.
much new nerd shit.
Yeah.
Back to
I
our
mean-
musical theme. Now that we just eradicated the
Not-
Japanese, it's time to get back to the
Not
present.
all light, but we'll talk about it.
Amber,
Yeah. What's
you-
up?
You started a business this year.
Yeah.
You started a business this year?
Oh, yeah.
No way.
Yes way.
It is wild times because 6 months ago I did not even live in Pittsburgh, but now I'm the executive director to Elsewhere Theater, which is operating out of Pittsburgh. We have our first show coming up this month, which is absolutely madness.
I can't
And
believe
it's just been a time.
when we first started talking about getting you on the show, you were like, I don't know if I can talk about my show yet because
Yeah.
now it's coming up. What's the date on that? Well, what is the name of the show and what are the dates?
Yeah.
So the name of the show is Crave, and is by Sarah Kane. It is a play. We are starting off with plays mostly, especially because with our mission statement, our mission is to do art for artists and by artists, because a lot of the time, particularly in Pittsburgh, but definitely in theater as a whole, most theater companies are doing things that sell tickets, not things that actually serve the artists the best. You know, so that's in our mission statement. That's a big thing of what we're doing. And we chose Crave because it's written by, like I said, Sarah Kane, and she is a writer from the UK. I believe she wrote 4 or 5 plays and 1 short film. This is the 4th play out of the 5 that she wrote. And then after the 5th, she took her own life.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Which is wild.
What a plot twist. I did not
What
see
a
that
plot
coming
twist.
there.
But Crave is
We were
where
making this better.
I know.
It got dark again.
Yeah.
You said that. I was like, maybe not.
Well, suicide never ruined a good time.
Right.
Exactly. But it is, it's actually really, really interesting because Crave was her play that really, like, she flipped the script on herself with her writing style, because her first 3 or 4 plays that she wrote is a lot of, they're more literal. You see a lot of aggression on stage between the actors, like physically. But then Crave, it's a lot more poetic, a lot more lyrical. It's about 4 characters going through trauma, grief, and love in their own little way. They don't actually interact the entire play, but they're all kind of going through the same thing in different ways. And it's just absolutely
they're all connected
wild.
in their own way, even though,
Yes.
like, we see them as an audience that they're all connected, but they aren't
They are unaware of it.
play that
Yes.
they're connected.
And it's actually so interesting because the characters are named M, B, C, and A. There are no character descriptions. Like when you first open it, you cannot find a character description. And
That
it's
could be
really
complicated.
Yeah.
It definitely is, and that's why it's so
It
great.
sounds so artsy, though.
Are
I
you
get
the
what you mean,
director?
though.
Yes. No, I am
I
not.
feel like that's a tough job for whoever's directing.
Because definitely my background is more musical theater,
Right.
but my background is also arts administration. So that's why I'm executive directing. I'm kind of in charge of all the businessy stuff, while some really, really good and talented friends of mine are taking care of the directing and the designing and everything of that. And I'm just in support of them. So they don't have to worry about like ticket sales, LLCs, sponsorships, and things like that. Like those are the things I'm doing for us. And then I get to go and watch, which is really, really amazing. Once we do more musical theater, I'm sure I might have I might dip my toes in it. But right now we just have some really, really incredible people. I'm just letting them be the artists that they are. And I'm enjoying it and going along for the ride.
It sounds amazing. It sounds like a great concept.
Yeah. No, it definitely is. And that's the other interesting thing too. And that, and like you said, oh, it's coming up in a month. The thing is that I thought that when we started to talk about this in
November.
August.
Oh. Okay, yeah.
So, but because it's 7 of us who kind of like came together, and we came together at my best friend Tucker Topol's house. He's the artistic director. But we all met there and we're like, you know what? We're just going to brainstorm. We're going to have a theater think tank. We're going to see what happens. And then we're like, oh yeah, it would be great to start a theater. And then the next meeting, we were like, oh wait, okay. So if we want to do something in June of 2024, that means that we need to do something in January to do a small show before the big show. And I was like, oh my God, this 2-year plan turned into a 2-month plan.
Yeah.
Crunch time.
It all just happened. I couldn't even believe
That's
it.
where greatness happens, you know.
Yeah. And that's
Pressure
why when I
makes
was
diamonds.
Pressure makes diamonds.
100%. And like, that's when I was talking to you, like, yeah, I mean, this might be a thing. I don't know if it's a thing. And then like 3 weeks later, we're like doing a countdown on Instagram. I was like, what is happening? And then we announced that we're a whole theater company.
That's to be wild to like
Couldn't believe it.
in such a short period of time, go from like just like spitballing the concept
Yes.
to like actually manifesting it in real life.
Yeah, I don't think that happens very often. Where
I don't think it does either. And that's why I was surprised that it actually happened. And like, now we have a
You're
cast.
doing it.
Our first rehearsal is tomorrow.
Oh, fuck.
Like,
Oh my God.
it is happening. I get to announce the cast on Instagram this week. It's fantastic. We have a great director. Her name is Katie, and she's also an intimacy coordinator,
Oh,
if anybody knows what that is. So I will explain a
No.
little bit.
does she teach people how to have sex?
So
You might need that, buddy.
Yeah. Do you have her number?
not exactly, but but any time that there is something intimate happening on stage, whether that is like a positive intimacy or a negative intimacy, it is a person who goes and coaches them on how to do it, talks a lot about consent, and talks a lot about like how it should be portrayed on stage for the mental and physical safety of that actor, and also so it gets the best response from the audience.
I never knew that was a thing, but I feel like that. That definitely should be a thing.
Yeah,
so
when I
that's
was,
good that
when
that
I
was
was
a
at
thing.
school for theater, we learned about it. I've just never actually
And it's
had one
definitely
or, like, been around one.
Yeah, in the past maybe like 5 or 10 years, they have definitely become more necessary in the theaters, intimacy coordinators, intimacy directors, because people are starting to notice the mental stamina that actors actually have to go through.
Yeah.
For sure. And that actually brings me to the other thing I'm doing. I don't even know if we were going to talk about this, but I might as
Throw
well.
it in, might as well. We got time.
I'm also the director of education and company manager at The Collective, which is a pre-professional teen theater company. And that is part of our mission as well, because most of the time it's viewed, the shows that we do is viewed as like edgy or like not school appropriate. Like they've done cutting edge, but it's really, we do more mature content, even though they're teenagers, so that when they go on to be actors and actresses out in the world, they know how to do it safely. And it's not going from like, oh, Susical to like, oh, hey, here's a show about being abused. Go do that.
Oppenheimer, the musical.
Yes, exactly. So it's definitely like preparatory with them. And Michael Campagno runs it. And he is just one of the nicest people I know. And he's been on Broadway and he's a Pittsburgh native. He came back and started this whole theater company as well. So it's kind of like we're all...
Damn, you're all in the same spider web network together.
We are, because Michael is also one of the founders of Elsewhere as well. So it's really, really great. We're not quite sister companies, but like we're friends,
like
you know,
allies.
and we're cousins.
Yeah,
we're definitely allies.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like going back and forth between the two. I absolutely love it because I feel like we're creating a better future in Pittsburgh for those young artists that we're working with in the collective.
Yeah,
so it's huge.
I feel like Pittsburgh has the potential for such like a boppin' art scene.
Yeah.
Just even with like the theater district and
The
everything.
theater district's pretty.
Like
They're
I feel like
trying.
Pittsburgh's about to go through its cultural renaissance.
I'm so ready.
Maybe with
You're
you,
gonna be-
Amber.
You're at the tip of the
You're going to be a
spear.
driving force. You're
Yeah.
gonna talk about
Listen,
some history book someday.
I hope so, because when you think about the bigger
Maybe
theater
our
companies
podcast.
in Pittsburgh, when you think about the bigger theater companies in Pittsburgh, they do shows that are going to sell tickets, which is very important. But, you know, they also have like, if you think about the people who have money in Pittsburgh is the old white people. And what do old white people want to see? They want to see
Wicked.
these shows. Yeah, Wicked.
Yeah.
They want to see they want to see these shows that
Over
have been
and over.
yes, over and over and over and over again. And then there's nothing new. And it's also, it puts a lot on the actors as well, because they're not doing anything that's emotionally fulfilling to them, artistically fulfilling to them. So how is the art form going to move forward
Right.
if they're not doing anything wild? So our plan, and Crave is a very, very big choice for our first show, because there's a lot of opinions about it. But the feedback that we've been getting is, oh my goodness, Noe does Sarah Kane in Pittsburgh. This is huge. This is great. And we put out virtual auditions. We're only like, hey, it opens today and it ends in like a week and a half. And we got a slew of virtual auditions, which was very, very unexpected. And we actually have 2 amazing casts because we double casted, which is also a little, I know.
I've been a part of a double
It's
cast
very
before.
saucy. It's
Drama
very
does
spicy.
stir with the double cast, man.
But
Fuck.
you know, and we went back and forth with the double cast as well. But the thing is, 2 things. First off, COVID is a thing again.
It's good to have
Sickness is a
backup
thing because
plans.
it's January. Everybody gets sick in January.
Yeah,
That
some
was freaking 2 years
Yeah.
ago's arc. We should be done with it.
I know. And now we're back. But like the second reason that we ultimately chose the double cast is that it is a small cast. It's a cast of 4 people.
Right, yeah.
But in our mission statement, it's art for artists by artists. So we wanted to open up the opportunity for more artists to be a part of it, especially since this is our inaugural show. Yeah. So it's really serving to them. And you don't see double casting a lot in professional theater. You see a lot of like understudies and things
I
like
was
that.
in high school when we did double casting
Oh yeah,
for the Snoopy
double
musical.
casting.
So for
Yeah.
the layman, because I'm not super aware of what double casting means.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I got you. So a double cast is that there are 2 of each character, and like this whole cast goes on this one night, but the next night it's a completely different set of people.
Okay.
But then understudies and swings, that is when you have the main person. So you have Elphaba in Wicked,
Yeah.
right? But Elphaba has an understudy, and that understudy only goes on if the actual Elphaba character gets sick, can't make it. So it's understanding.
eyes.
Yeah, but the double cast is that they get equal amount of performance time and they are equally the person.
Okay, so I could see how drama
stirs.
Yeah.
Drama stirs.
But you know
man.
what? But the people that we picked and for the reasonings that we've done it, I think that we're gonna be okay, because definitely in high school theater, so much drama with double casting and understudy.
Dude, fuck.
Because I've been there, done that on both sides of it. I've been there as a little high school self, but also as a director who had to do that. And that's a whole nother mood. But that's another thing with the collective, the teen theater company I work for, is that we triple cast. Which is all what? Yes, we
triple the problems.
We triple cast, but that's the thing, is that because of the culture that we've set up and because it's a pre-professional teen theater company, they're all so chill about it. They're great about it. They're really, really supportive of each other. And when they're not the main character this one night, they're in the ensemble or they're the supporting character the other night. And it's really important for them too, because now they're seeing the show from a lot of different angles.
Yeah.
So they actually get triple the amount of experiences. Yeah, within one show. And when you have 3 shows that you put on with 3 sets of casts, now that makes 18 shows in a month.
Holy fuck.
Yep. So that is absolutely craziness.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that 6 months ago this was not my life, and now it is. But we're living it.
6 months ago.
I did not live here. I lived
just coming.
Yes. I lived in Chicago, Illinois for the past 5 years, and that was a whole time as well. But
you want to get into that?
We can breeze on it. I think that's
another episode.
That's another series. I think that's another series. But I was a music teacher in Chicago, Illinois, on the south side of Chicago at an art school, at an art charter school. And it was great until it wasn't. But the number one thing that I walk away from that experience is that I have the capabilities, I have the passion, not just to be an educator, not just to be an artist, but to actually rally other people and organize other people into helping them become their artistic selves too. So that's how I'm getting into arts management and everything like that. And then it was just like, I moved back to Pennsylvania. I thought I was going to be bored for a little bit. And it was just like, poof, you're doing all of the things.
You're the busiest you've
all
ever been.
You're never bored in Pennsylvania.
Never.
That's our state motto.
And I had no idea. But yeah, it's a wild time. And so elsewhere shows, the Crave shows, are... I have to double check the calendar.
Get us some dates.
Yeah, so the end of January. So I believe is the weekend. So because we're doing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Because this is not. I know, but this is not a matinee show. This is a show that you have to go to. You have to watch. Then you have to have an existential crisis for a little bit, and then go to bed. So we're not doing any matinees. But it's going to be the 25th. Through the 27th of January, and then the 31st of January through February 3rd. Okay. Yes, at Carnegie Stage, which is right outside of Pittsburgh.
Do you recommend which cast is better?
Yeah.
We have not started rehearsals. I would like
So we
want to go to the good show.
You got to get this all. It's good that it's only 4-person cast. It makes it a little easier to get.
And now it's an
a month,
8-person cast because it's double cast.
Well, when that time comes, can you let us know which one's the better cast? And
here's the thing too.
And
this is the great thing. This is why I love double casting. Is because you can see an equally as amazing show 2 completely different ways.
Yeah.
Like one cast is all female presenting artists, and then the other cast has female presenting and male presenting artists. So it's just like
different.
Who knows?
When we double casted for the Snoopy musical, there were 2 different casts.
And it was good.
We had just got our theater, like the school always did a musical, but we had just got Mr. Frank, who was like the theater guy.
Yeah.
So he did like plays and then worked together with the musical people to do the musicals. But he fought for getting his actors on. So like there was a group of us that were actors, and then the other cast was more, not that the other ones couldn't act and not that we couldn't sing, but it was like clearly they had the better singers one night.
Okay.
Sprinkled a few good singers into
I got
ours,
you.
And then I was
That's not how you double cast. That's not how you should double cast.
I don't think it was meant to be that way, because
it just kind of turned out that way.
Don't get me wrong; they sprinkled. Like there were some. We had in our group. I know we had this girl. Her name was Natalie in ours, and like she may have had the best singing voice in the whole school.
That's just unfair to other people.
It mixed pretty well, but then you had my buddy Jake, who cannot fucking sing at all, and he was Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, you got two different shows.
It's
but-
two completely different shows. And I've been there, done that when I've had to double cast Annie's in Annie.
Yeah.
That was Annie.
Oh.
Like little orphan
Gotcha.
Annie.
Little orphan, redheaded, curly-haired Annie.
And that was a whole thing because
Annie.
yeah. Goodness. But that was a whole thing because I had to consider of course they're elementary school girls, right?
Yeah.
And one is very, very much the singer and the other one's very, very much the actor. And you have to choose if they're double cast because there's not an equal amount of performances, which one gets that one more performance.
Yeah.
So you have
no
to
matter what, you're pissing someone off.
Oh, yeah, no. In anything like high school theater, you're going to piss somebody off. That's just how it works
That's theater.
as a
people.
trademark. But that is another thing that the collective's trying to do is that we're trying to abolish that preconceived notions of high school musical theater.
Mhm.
And it's just great. It's a whole thing, but we still do the double casting and somehow it works out. And then we're going to see how the shows end up as well. Because I think they're going to be great.
They sound like they're going to be great.
I'm
I think it's a
interested.
good decision to like go bold with like your first play because like, you know, even because you said like there's a lot of opinions on the play, right? There's like some controversy surrounding it.
Well, more
brings-
controversy on the topics
Right.
that is going to be
but
conceived.
that puts butts in seats.
It does.
People want to see controversy. People want to see something new and
They
something
do.
crazy.
And that's why we are trying to abolish the idea of capitalistic theater and not doing shows that sell tickets. But because we're doing the shows that don't sell tickets, we're actually going to sell a lot of tickets.
Right. 'Cause it's like people want to see new shit.
Yes. And of course, as the executive director, I'm doing all the math behind all the thing. Like, how much are we charging for tickets? How much are we doing this? But while doing all of that, I figured out like, oh, even if we sell out 50%, we're still going to make a profit. So like, we should be fine. We should be good. But then that comes to the whole other thing, which is the other thing I wanted to mention as well. One of our big missions as Elsewhere Theater is to put on a show for Pride Month.
Oh.
Which is so super exciting because not a lot of theaters in Pittsburgh do a Pride show, even though you
really?
think that they would.
Yeah,
You would think that.
They definitely
the
do
theater
not.
district is kind of rainbowy.
Exactly. And that show I cannot reveal.
No.
Ooh,
I cannot.
that's for the next part.
You'll have to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
We'll promote
another
it
thing
down
about that one is that we are hoping to make that one free tickets. So it's more accessible.
Free tickets.
Free tickets to
How
that
do you
one.
make your
Tickets.
money?
Sponsorships,
Nice.
grants, and hopefully we get some income by the ticket sales of this one coming up.
Sweet.
I know it's wild, but we're trying to make it, and it also goes into location too, because like Carnegie Stage is amazing. I have a home at Carnegie Stage, but that's not exactly accessible to the people who live in the city. So then, as a group, we have to discuss like the pros and cons back and forth. So it's just, and that's my nerd shit is geeking out over all the numbers and all the pros and cons and everything like that
You're bringing
because you have to make
all-
decisions. Yeah, but it is wow. So. Crave at the end of January, first weekend in February, and then something
in June.
so super special.
Oh, wow.
So super special.
Then that's
in
is that big.
June.
So if you're done from February, and then you're just working on that till June. Musicals
Not
do take a little
me,
more time.
but elsewhere, yes.
Right, yeah.
And it is not, I'll say this, it is not a musical for June. It's another play.
So it's another play.
Yes,
okay.
but it's a very, very well known play. And
Okay.
I cannot say any more.
Would we know it?
I maybe, actually.
I've been to my fair share of theater.
Could you tell
theater.
us off air? And
Maybe.
okay.
The viewers will never know.
Okay, yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm just kind of curious if I know it or not.
But yeah, it's just for the absolute time. And
You're having fun.
yeah,
That's what's most important.
That's the most important
You're
part.
happy.
incredible. Yes.
Yeah, you're bringing the art from artists, for artists, to artists.
Yeah.
With
With artists, around artists.
The actual mission statement is a lot more wordy, but we'll put that in the description.
Yeah.
Because do
I'll be
I have it
the one
memorized? No, I do not. Did I write it and help write it? Yes.
That's how it goes, though. Can't remember everything we write.
No.
That's way too much shit.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
too much
That's
nerd
why you
shit.
write it.
Yeah.
That's why you write it
You don't
down
have
so you
to
don't remember
remember.
later.
Yeah.
Yeah, but check out our Instagram.
There it is. Yeah.
There you
And
go.
Facebook
Yeah, plug
at
yourself.
Elsewhere PGH. Yeah, because
At
Pittsburgh.
Elsewhere PGH.
At Elsewhere PGH. And then an email, or not an email, a website is elsewheretheater.com. And you can get merch. We got merch,
merch.
people.
We love merch.
Wow, they've already got merch.
Yeah, and you can
we gotta go
donate
roll
as
that shit
well.
Out of the water.
We have merch and you can donate. And if you donate a certain amount, you get certain perks. Like our top donators get listed as producers in the program, get a t-shirt, get a couple free tickets.
I want to
So
be
it's
a
like the whole
producer.
thing. Okay, well you check out www.elsewheretheater.com and you might be able to.
Wow. I just feel like that'd be such an accolade I could throw around.
I'm
Even though it's
producer.
just
You
I
can put
gave
it on your
I gave you
resume.
money, but I was like, I produced this
It's like
play.
that plot of Land Miranda bought me in some fucking. I'm a lord somewhere.
Kind of like how I can say like I'm a podcast jingle maker.
Yeah,
You are.
you are.
I
That's
keep
an
forgetting that
accolade.
about
Yeah.
myself though.
Put it
So
on your
You
resume.
are the singer.
oh yes, it does go on the resume.
Yeah.
Yep,
The goal.
yep.
All right, sweet. So,
Yeah.
anything else you want to run off? I thought I'd have more questions, but you kind of just went. So I don't.
tried.
I feel like I don't. You were
Yeah.
ready to
If
go.
you give me
I
a
don't
mic,
know-
I'm
Yeah, I don't know
unstoppable.
what I'm going to talk about this whole time.
That was about 25 minutes of stuff straight.
I don't
Good
even
job.
know.
Yeah, you got it. You're
Yeah.
natural.
Well, thank you. If you give me a mic, I'm a different person.
How about it?
Yeah.
Aren't we
By
all
the
a little
time
bit?
that's my vocal major coming out in me.
Yeah.
Just So yeah, thanks for having me on. I'm
No problem. We're
excited
glad
to
have you here.
Happy to
have
have you
strong
on.
opinions about High School
Yeah,
Musical. I'm very
to see-
excited.
I'm excited to see this play. You got me interested.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we'll try to make a.
Oh yeah, you
I
definitely
think I'm out
should.
of town that first weekend of January, but I think February we could make it work.
Oh yeah, and the tickets are going to be at very accessible prices
I love accessible
because
prices.
that we want people to come.
As
We
a
want
new
people to
father,
see it.
Acceptable prices are
Is it something I can
Exactly.
see
big
with my
thumbs up for that
parents?
one. Big up.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Do not. Here's a PSA. Do not come see this with your parents.
Okay, good.
You can say, "Hey, mom and dad, why don't you go see this at a night where I'm not going?"
see them. I'll tell them about it so they can go see it
Yeah,
themselves.
yeah. But come on a different night.
Got
It's gonna
it.
be very intimate. It's black box theater style, so like very, very close. It's probably 75 seats a show,
Oh wow. Okay.
and they're
So,
going
yeah,
to be
very
like, it's not. I promise you, it's not interactive. They will not be interacting with you,
Good.
but it's gonna kind of feel
Like they
like
might
you're
like
in
you
it.
are because you're gonna be so close to them because it's a little black box theater, which is another thing that's just so awesome and cool.
You haven't been
Because,
in
like,
one of
you're
those
in
in a while.
Yeah, that's where I live. I
Right.
basically live in. I'm like the Phantom of the Opera at this point. I counted up just the collective shows. I'm going to be front of house, and that is 48 hours of my life. Just the
Just in
shows.
there.
Just the shows. And you know what? That's okay with me.
I figured. I didn't think it was something you had any issues with.
No, absolutely not.
Cool.
So yeah, cool beans, everybody.
Cool
beans.
All right. Well, then we'll move into our next segment of the show where we are going to watch some shit and come back and talk about said shit. So it's fresh on our mind. And we're going to start with High School Musical, the first and original High School Musical. So, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Chase has never seen.
That I have never seen.
Amber and I have seen.
have seen.
And have
Not
opinions.
in a
So
long time.
I'm in the dark with both of these movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen every movie we're gonna watch today before.
There you go.
Just a disclaimer: we don't like to do fake reactions on nerd shit in the dark.
Not at all.
No.
I have seen these movies, but you're going to see my reaction to these movies after not having seen them in a long time.
Same. Because the last time I watched High School Musical, I was definitely in my angsty teenager phase.
Yeah.
So it's going to be different.
Yeah.
So now, as you're an adult, you'll
An adult who
Maybe you'll
works
see
in
all different
theater.
perspectives.
from a different stage in life.
Maybe it's better.
Or maybe it's worse. I don't know.
All right. Well, we're going to jump off. We'll play a little tune for you in the meantime, and we'll see you guys afterwards. Toodles.
What's up? What's up? Oh, let's see. You missed free period workout yesterday to audition for some heinous musical, and now suddenly people are confessing. Yeah, and Zeke. Zeke is baking creme brulee.
Oh, what's that? Oh, it's a creamy custard-like filling with a caramelized surface. It's really satisfying.
Shut up, Zeke.
Alrighty, we just finished High School Musical, and it was something.
An
It
experience.
was a movie.
Sorry,
Oh,
I am.
yeah. Do we know who sang for Zac Efron in this? Like, do we know?
I did.
Yeah. What?
I.
You did. For when you were.
That makes sense.
How old were you in 2006?
I would have been 10.
10.
Yeah.
You were 10.
Yep.
So yeah, it was me.
You were 10. I was 14.
I was
kids.
We were just kids.
Yeah.
11.
Wow.
Yeah. Right in
Wow.
between. Right in between.
What did we think of this one?
All of my opinions
Yeah.
are now validated. I do not like High School Musical. I said it. I'm going to live by it. I own it.
I don't think I like it either.
Okay.
Like as a movie. Like it was funny. We had a good time watching it together, but it kind of sucks.
But the good times came from making fun of it. And you said you like it as a movie. Do you like it as a musical? Or sorry, you do not like it as a movie, but do you like it as a musical?
Well, I wish they would have just cast Drew Seeley for Zac Efron, and then I'd like it better.
Is that the actual voice?
That's the actual. I don't. No, I just thought it was all over the place plot wise. It wasn't the movie I expected it to really be. Look at me deep diving and fucking shitting on this Disney Channel original movie. It's not what I expected it to be. I don't know. Like I thought there'd be more. Like it's the audition, the whole movie. It's not.
Drew me.
It's not really any musical.
I always assumed
honestly,
the end scene was the music.
It doesn't feel like a musical the whole time. The only time it feels like a musical is that last song when there's lots of people singing.
It feels like a movie with musical numbers.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I have never liked High School Musical. If you were a student of mine at any point in my career, you would know, because I may have very well known that I did not like High School Musical because they would all beg me to do it all of the time. But like before,
Why would you want to? I feel like I'd need to see the
the
musical.
kids love it.
to see why
The kids
you
love it.
want to
The
do
musical
it.
has like all the same songs
It's
in it.
so nothing.
I haven't read the script for the musical because why would I? But now I can pinpoint several reasons why I am not a fan. Reason number one, the songs are exactly what you expect them to be, but not in a good way.
They don't ever go there.
They do not
Like, even
help the
ones that
plot.
you guys liked and sang to, like they're not great songs.
They are not in service of the plot.
Yeah.
They're just songs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like if you actually pay attention to the lyrics and stuff. What are we talking about here, guys?
Bop,
Yeah.
bop, bop. Bop to the top. What?
Zip zap zop.
Zip, zap, top. Like, yes. Yes. But like on its own, fine song.
Yeah.
In the show, doesn't make no sense.
So there's no cohesion among
No
the songs
cohesiveness.
From
of
the
what
very
an
beginning,
actual musical
because they're
should have.
just the first song is just them singing karaoke.
Yes. And who starts
the
off a
fuck's that
musical with a ballad like that?
I know.
That's not catchy.
Egregious.
That doesn't reel you
It
in.
should have been everybody in that room singing.
Yes.
Mhm.
Or like an
I'm
up
writing
tempo.
a musical, so I know. I know what
Yes,
they take.
I'm sure you would know. Yep. The second biggest reason why I, as a vocal music teacher, think that I do not like the show is that the singing is not appropriate for the techniques used are not appropriate for the age group that it serves. It is, if students are trying to sing like that, they could hurt their voices.
Oh,
And
those powerful
it is-
notes.
And how they attack it, like glottal attacks, not good. Glottal attacks are when you go like Backstreet Boys, like anything with a vowel.
That's what Zac Efron sounded like the whole song. Drew
Well, I'm
Seeley.
sure Zac
Yes.
Efron's voice is fine.
Yeah, Drew Seeley, you gotta watch out for.
Yeah, but just think about it. Think about my life being, oh my God, Miss Leitch, we should do High School Musical. Where are they? And then they just go into it
Then you're gonna ruin
over
those
and
kids.
over and over and over again. That's all that they've wanted to do
Yeah,
the whole time.
yeah.
So can you imagine? Like it's just like been like a nonstop loop for me. I think that's why. I think the youth of America has made this even worse for me.
Wow, they have that power.
They do.
Lot of the
This
time.
movie has corrupted the youth of America. To
Yeah,
think
it's
Yes.
kind of a weird mix.
that's a good musical to do.
Yes, exactly. Like
Yeah,
that
they-
is the standard.
Well,
I'm
it's
just like there's so many
they saw it
better
when they were
things.
young. It's like anybody. You see something when you're young, you believe it's good forever.
Yeah, but Hercules is still great.
That's fair. That's not always the case. I don't mean that. I don't mean everything that's like that is like that. I just
I
mean
know.
sometimes it's
Fair.
It's like that.
And I think maybe we just, I mean,
I think it's a movie that if you went back to and watched, like it's not like Star Wars, you watched it as a kid, you watch it later. This you
No.
could probably like as a kid, and then as you're an adult, you're like, okay, I see the holes here. Kind of like the prequels, you know?
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, nerd shit.
Yeah. So it was just like, it was a little painful to get through.
Mm-hmm.
It was
think-
also just
I
like,
think it's one of the better of like the Disney Channel original movies. Maybe puts it.
gasp.
It it doesn't feel like a Disney Channel original movie. You know what I
It
mean?
feels like a regular,
It does until it does the commercial break thing.
which I guess is like the production
yeah.
seems
a little bit better.
A little
for
better
the time.
than like
Well, I think they
regular
gave like more money to it.
yeah.
Like they had to have invested more
You
into
think
it.
they were like, this is going to be a hit?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No,
And you're
they
right.
were
for
wrong.
sure.
Yeah.
They were wrong. It
It's
was
still
a
going,
fucking
and now
hit.
it's whole
There is a
High
High School Musical,
the musical,
the
the
series,
series.
for
Yep.
God's sakes.
No, it's
So-
still a thing.
Yeah.
But like,
Isn't there a High School Musical? Nah, never mind. Just go. Sorry.
but like, give me Halloween Town over High School Musical any day.
I think a lot of people would
Twitches
agree with
over
that, though.
High School Musical any day.
Okay, I don't know that one.
Oh,
I
it's
know
good.
Halloween Town.
It's good.
Sister,
Sister,
Ian
Sisters.
Smaramatic.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm sure I've fallen into some sort of pit
You've
where
seen
I've
it.
seen
Yeah.
parts of it. What else?
Man.
Amber has a lot to say. I have notes, but I kind of want you to just get out everything. Well, some of my notes, just to be real quick, I wrote.
Do it.
One of my notes I just wrote, "That's money." 'Cause that's
That's
what he
money,
says to
yeah.
his dad when they're like cracking. He's like, "That's money."
That's like one of his first lines.
It
in the movie.
is. I think the first line after Vanessa
That's a
Hudgens.
thing now, though.
Yeah. Oh well, no, that is a phrase. It's definitely.
I know,
a phrase.
but I
of
feel
its
like it
time.
came back.
It's just funny to hear it. That's money.
That's funny.
As they're playing basketball, even on vacation, to let you know that
Yes.
there is no break from basketball.
Of course, there's not, because
Um,
basketball is life.
Yeah.
I think the other thing that we have to talk about, though, is the star of the show,
Who is the star of the show?
Zeke.
Zeke.
Yeah.
Zeke,
Zeke's pretty dope. I'm
Zeke
a
was a
fan of
fan
Zeke.
star
favorite of
of the
ours.
show. Listen, he made the whole thing better for me.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, the whole time I was like, "Where is he? What's he gonna do? What's he gonna bake next?"
I wasn't waiting for him, but I was always happy to see him with his bake.
Mhm,
And they're just like, get the fuck out of here, Zeke.
No one
He's-
wants to eat your cookies, Zeke.
Jesus.
And then he gets the girl at the end.
He does get the girl at the end.
Yeah. And he looks like he
You
starts to
didn't know
regret
he
it.
wanted that girl the whole movie until the end when he gave her the
There's
cookies.
hints. He's like trying to hit on her.
I
throughout
mean,
whole
she's
movie.
the most
I did not
popular
pick
girl
up
in
on
school, so it's like assumed
Yeah.
that every boy like wants to get with her.
Yeah, it's
Right.
because
But
she's a
Zeke is
21-year-old woman.
Yeah. also,
So, duh.
also,
Zeke's great. I'm glad.
Yeah.
It's weird. Even when he bakes the cookies at the end and gives them to Zac Efron's character, what's the character's name?
Troy Bolton.
When he gives them to Troy, still the one friend like looks at him like he's fucking crazy for giving him snacks, and it's like, dude, it's food. Like, what are we? Why is that so weird? Yeah, let's talk about the central theme of this musical.
You can do more than one thing.
You can do more than one thing, and like you said as we were watching, Braden, I'll let you. It's about stereotype or not stereotype. It's about
Segregation.
Segregation,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's where that whole
I'll cut
song, that one whole song in the middle where they're singing in the cafeteria and like confessing their secret interests.
Yep.
It's all about how like, no, you got to stay with your group. You got to stay with your kind.
hmm
Mhm.
We should not mix groups
Just
at
in
all.
a digestible form
Just in a nice high
for the
school-
2000s kids to
That's-
I
digest.
read into the subtext of
You
this Disney
did.
Channel movie, and it's really about segregation.
It's the only thing that gives the movie kind of a bump to be anything more than what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure. Other than the fact that it is a deep, deep reflection of Greece.
It's a deep, almost one-to-one
Yes.
copy.
Like you said it, and then I was like, huh, how true can it be? And then it became so painfully true
Yeah.
down to the last number
Yeah.
of we're all in this together versus we go together.
It's essentially Grease with all of the adult themes taken out of it. Like no one's smoking cigarettes or trying to have
Nobody
sex
gets
with
pregnant.
Each other. Like
The
like
best
you
thing we
mentioned,
get as a kiss is a kiss on the cheek.
the entire romantic
Which,
plot
wow.
of the second High School Musical movie is building up to Troy and Gabriella kissing for the first time, even though we are to be assumed that they've been dating for at least months at this point.
They almost
Yeah.
kiss in this movie. You're telling me that they
He kissed her on the
almost
cheek?
kissed? Yeah,
They
but
just
they
hold hands.
almost kiss at the end of the basketball game. And
You're right.
It's nothing. So
Yeah.
to then build on that, I don't think I've ever seen a movie with a romantic story going on that there is not a kiss in the movie at all.
Not even like a sweet little
Not a kiss,
little
like
smooch.
a kiss on the cheek. Are you fucking kidding me? Even for Disney Channel in
There's been
2006,
kisses in
that's
other
pretty.
Disney Channel movies.
There sure have.
Yeah.
Every cartoon.
Every single one of
Every
them.
one.
So very
Do you remember that
strange.
kiss between Belle and the Beast at the end?
I don't-
They were making out.
I
I
don't
think they're just trying to really sanitize it for the young audience, for the demographic. They didn't want any parent calls.
Yeah.
Goodness. Meanwhile, they're ripping their vocal cords apart.
Yeah.
Goodness.
To kind of go along with the idea of like you're not supposed to get in other groups. I also like that even the adults they only know what they know and
Oh,
they
yeah.
don't know anything else, which
yeah.
was represented mostly by the drama teacher. What is her
Darvis.
name? Jarvis.
Darvis.
Fucking worst character. Like if they were gonna make people like theater, they picked the wrong. Like type of character, but she's like a dummy. Like she sees the basketball on the desk and she's just like, go to your hockey court or like score your touchdowns talking about basketball. Like,
And they did
she
that.
just doesn't know anything. And it's not just her, because when it goes to other people, they also don't know anything out of their field of vision.
Yeah. And they did that.
Why
So
don't you
annoying.
hang out with your basketball posse or whatever it's
I
called?
wrote that down.
Basketball posse.
Basketball posse. What
It's
the
like it's
fuck?
called a team.
No. Actually, she said sports posse.
Sports
Your
posse, yeah.
sports posse.
And they're doing that specifically to make fun of people
Ugh.
like that.
Musical.
To make
She kept saying
I-
musical. I was like,
Yes.
what is this? What the fuck is
So-
this about? They're all theater people making this. You know what I mean? You think one of them would have been like, nah, I don't know about this.
That would go against the main
This
thing
is
that they're trying to
weird.
get at. That,
What
most
is-
people
But like,
pigeonhole
here's the
themselves.
other thing that you have to consider is that there are real people in the world like this,
I know.
both on the theater and the sports
I
side.
know,
Not
but-
gonna lie.
God, she's the worst. I'm glad they
Oh,
go
yeah.
to somewhere else in the second one, because I don't want to watch her do anything else.
Is she in the second
she
one?
Sucks. I don't think the dad ever really got a redeeming moment. Like, he just kind of, I don't know.
There's 2 seconds in the locker room,
Right.
And then he was like, and then he like
He-
walked out.
Yeah.
Never talks to his son about anything outside of basketball.
Yeah.
If they are to ever have a conversation, it has to be related to basketball. Like we said, he doesn't even mention that he's like likes a girl or he's been like hanging out with a girl to his dad. His dad has to find out through like the audition.
Toxic masculinity.
Yep.
Well, about that.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's the thing. There's all these like themes that they're trying to push, or like storylines
Yeah.
that don't all come. Like, the main story tells its story and comes to fruition, but there are side stories that, like, Ashley Tisdale just goes from fucking hating these people
To boom.
to just like,
Oh,
all
we're
right,
great,
I
we're
guess, even though I
besties.
heard that you could sing, now I heard you could sing and you beat me, so I'm just like, we're cool.
Yeah, she was cool with being an understudy then.
Yeah,
Listen.
she's not even in the play or the musical as another character.
No.
She's just an understudy.
Yeah, apparently there's only 2 roles. in
Two
this
roles,
musical.
the whole musical.
Yes.
Well, that's how this felt. Only 2 people ever sang at one time. There was never a bunch of people singing at once. And
Exactly.
if they were, it was like shoved to the background a little.
100%.
Yeah.
But listen, that is a thing that happens in real life. The only time I was ever bullied in my high school career was because I got a role above somebody else.
Oh, I believe it.
And literally their whole posse
Oh, fuck.
band
Sports
together,
posse.
band together and was like posting things online like, what's your face? This was supposed to be your role and stuff like that. And then halfway in rehearsals, I got up and sang. The day after, their leader came up to me and said, I'm so sorry.
Nice, yeah.
So
You
Sing.
because like that's gonna be good because you did so good yesterday and like I just wanted to apologize and then it all stopped.
you saw
So
someone have a real life character arc.
that yes,
I'm
in
surprised
real
you
life.
don't like this movie more.
I know. See, that was like the one
with
thing
it.
that I can connect with. But the other thing I will say is that even though I don't like saying this, I think I should see the musical like on stage to make a comparison. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
Because I believe like movie musicals and musicals that are movies, I believe whichever one came second is the stronger of the two because then they got to workshop. Like the first one was a workshop. Like Newsies, the movie was good. The movie's a classic, but the musical is so much better.
Kind of like
The
Shrek.
music is stronger. Shrek, that's such another good one. What's the other one? Hairspray. Hairspray was such a good movie musical.
I didn't see the movie.
It's good. It's a good one.
Nice.
SpongeBob
Yeah, and even
SquarePants.
especially because there was the original Hairspray movie, and then there was a musical, and then there was a
Stage
movie
play on
musical.
that.
Yeah, I've never seen
What,
this.
SpongeBob?
SpongeBob. Ariana
Listen,
Grande is
The
dating
South
the
Park
guy
movie's
who's
kind
the
of a musical.
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob
Guy.
the musical, so good.
That's what I hear.
So good. And they took all these different people to write each individual song because with that one, they did it backwards. They wrote the script and said, oh, we're going to put a John Legend song right here or insert Cyndi Lauper song here. And then they got these people to write it.
Yeah.
Wild.
Well,
What a concept. But yeah, so I feel like at some point we should see
the
the
musical.
on-stage musical or at least like
Compare
read the
notes.
book or something.
Yeah.
Read the libretto. So, because I bet you it is a smidgen better, but I cannot promise.
It might. It very well might.
I have to
Maybe.
do some research.
I wouldn't mind checking it out
Mm-hmm.
just to see. I think hopefully they tweak the just the plot.
The plot.
A little. The plot is.
Yeah. But like you would have to too, because if you're seeing something on stage, sometimes, I mean, obviously it's more dramatized.
It's got to be very.
So it has to be a little bit more obvious to the audience.
Yeah.
So hopefully they got those tweaks out. Hopefully they got the bugs out.
We'll check it out.
Yes.
Yeah, another like the first thing that made me think about it as being like Grease is the whole they meet outside of school.
Yeah.
And then
At
they
the
go to
beginning,
school,
yeah.
and then he has his friends that he's trying to impress, and so he like is mean to her.
Uh-huh.
He wasn't really that mean to
Tell
her.
me
in this
more.
movie.
Tell me more.
Yeah, like
They were
Danny
immediately
Zuko's definitely
friends.
more of a prick to Sandy in
Sure.
Grease. than-
Yeah. He saw
Yeah.
this girl in like any 14-year-old boy.
But yeah, and then
Was
you
like,
were
I
looking
don't
up,
wanna
like
talk
you
to
were
her.
making parallels to every
Mm-hmm.
song that was coming up
No, legit
to
though.
Grease.
Like there's a Hopelessly Devoted. There's probably, I think there's a Sandy somewhere. I forget which one I alluded that to, but song for song. And then she even comes out.
I guess at that point
In a
they must have did
sexier-
it on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even she comes out at the very end in a sexier outfit.
Yeah.
Because she comes out in the red dress, which made no sense because that's
Yeah.
not the dress that she had under the
Nope.
lab coat.
Nope.
So does the
Music director.
She
Hell's
just
Girl.
changed it some point
Yep.
in the same day. Yeah.
yeah.
The
They don't
only-
explain why either. It's just
Yeah.
that I guess they wanted.
I thought
them
maybe
to
she
be
could
in
have
red.
got sweaty doing the audition, and maybe she just needed to change. But
I think they just wanted them.
So
all
she
to be
had
in
a
red at
sexy
the
red
end.
dress just like in her locker.
don't you always? I do.
No.
I have a nice sexy red dress.
I have like
ready
an
to
extra
go.
pair of shoes in my car.
I'm wearing my sexy red dress right now,
Yes, you are. That's a very, very
So-
good oversized flannel.
just for this
I-
occasion.
I do remember one other qualm I had
Ooh,
that I
yes.
consider a plot hole.
Yeah.
I noticed a few plot holes, but this was the biggest one because I'm a teacher. Is that we realize at the opening class when like Troy first realizes that Gabriella is going to his school.
Yeah.
They're all in the same class, like Troy, his friend Chad, Corbin Blue, Ashley Tisdale's character Sharpay. I think her brother's in it too, and Gabriella.
All the main characters.
In
We
the same
originally thought
homeroom.
it was just a regular like drama class or something,
Yeah.
but then we find out later it's their home room because they're only in there for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of their names are similar. Homerooms are alphabetized. How are they all in the same homeroom?
I will say back in the day, they were alphabetized. I don't know if they are anymore,
They
but
still,
What about
I mean, they're still
2006?
alphabetized. in
oh,
my
here
school.
are they?
Yeah.
They weren't at my school. What?
Oh, they weren't at your school?
No,
Oh.
because
You know what?
it was different.
You are right. Mine started that way, but I remember by like senior year, I was in.
But in
Yeah.
2006, that's the only way that they did it.
Yeah.
So you are
That's fair.
accurate in there.
I do remember because me and Caton were in the same homeroom our senior year, and his last name is Wiesner, and my last name is Skripek. So
Or there was just a lot less people that went to your school between S and W.
no, there definitely weren't.
No,
That's the thing.
okay.
Yeah, we had never been. It was really middle school that it was alphabetized. I think in like ninth grade. After that, it was just random. So
Got you.
It's just a coincidence that all the main characters have the same home.
Oh, of course, yeah.
All
Oh,
the
yeah.
big players. One other plot hole that's not a plot hole because they actually fixed it later in the movie was I was confused of how Zac Efron's a sophomore and he's the captain of the
Yes.
varsity basketball team.
Yeah.
But then
They did
explained
fix
it
that.
later on.
Yeah. They-
Corbin Blue gave a speech and he was like, "Who was the first sophomore to make a varsity team?" And we voted to make him our captain. Does that mean they're all sophomores?
No,
Or some
of those
seniors?
no, they have to be. They'd have to be seniors.
How do
Corbin
those
Blue has to at least also be a
seniors?
sophomore, and
Ew.
he seems like the
He's the same-
second string best guy.
Eh?
So I guess their varsity team's made up of all sophomores. So I don't know how they don't get demolished in.
They're just really good.
Yeah.
They're fucking-
Good sophomores.
I mean, listen, they're all in this together.
I thought.
Didn't you
I
realize?
thought only at the end. Only at the very
Did you
end
think?
when they all learn their lesson.
They really got their head in the game.
I also found the one-on-one dialogue, but anytime just one person was talking to another person, rough, dude. Rough.
Yeah.
Like
Hey.
Disney
who
Channel
talks
dialogue.
to each other like that?
Yeah.
Ever?
No.
Oh my god! It's not even like the fact
Yeah.
that it's dramatic. It's just
Mhm.
who the fuck talks
Yeah.
to each other like this?
I know. And like, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
And then
Zac Efron.
tuck the hair behind the ear.
Awful. Awful.
I think Zac Efron gave a better performance than Vanessa Hutchins on the acting side,
That's
even
hard.
though she was the better singer. Clearly,
Mhm.
Yeah, I'd say
That goes back to our
that's-
double casting
Yeah, it's
conversation.
It's
full
close.
circle.
I don't know who would be a better actor. I mean, they all did fine. Nobody
Man.
was like aggressively,
But I think it was
noticeably bad at
Yeah.
anything other
Honestly,
than when they were supposed to.
I think it was more the writing
Yeah,
that was bad.
Oh,
They
yeah.
did not give them a lot to work with.
No,
No.
They didn't. I think Disney knew they didn't have to.
I know.
They knew they
kids are
had
gonna watch it and
something.
love it anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
'Cause
wanted
remember
like a
this came out,
moment.
I didn't watch it, but they promoted the shit out of High School Musical when it was coming out.
And then it dropped and was a huge thing, and then it was like for a few years there,
Yeah.
you couldn't get away from High School Musical.
No.
And I think that that's why I originally hated it when I was a kid, because it was like the mainstream thing.
Yeah.
You know?
From like 2006 to 2010 at least,
There
it
are
was
things
all High
about
School
it that
Musical.
make it so painful. Like
It
how
hurts.
much the drama teacher hates the cell phones. Painful. You can tell an adult was just like, "What are these cell phone things? Let's bitch about them in this as we write this script." Like it was just, it was like 4 times she was like, cell phones, kids."
And cell phones weren't even a problem back
shut
then.
They all have
Fuck
Nokia
up.
flip phones.
Yeah.
Like cell phones were not a
What's
problem
the
back then.
issue? So
Absolutely not.
First day of school, cell phone out, boom, you get detention. I was like, man, she's
Listen,
the worst. The new
on-
kid never gets treated that.
On
fucking
the
bad
other
by
side of
teachers.
things, on the other side of it, to play devil's advocate,
Mhm.
I have been that drama teacher at that point of the year where we are just so done with everything. Like, I would need more backstory.
Amber, they just
But-
came back from Christmas break.
I know that's the
They
worst
should be-
time.
They're just getting started, though.
But they've been there for a whole semester.
Yeah, but I mean,
And now
She
she
hasn't done
had
any musical
she
stuff
had
till
a
now.
great Christmas. She had a pretty good New Year. She went out with the girls, and now she's coming back to this same old shit.
And kids
That's
do
happening in her
generally-
room every single day.
They're at some of their worst behavior, like coming right off of Christmas break.
that's
it's hard
fair.
to get them back
Don't
into.
get me wrong. I'm well aware. As I've
We're
been a
now
teacher.
suddenly defending Darvis.
Yeah. No.
I just want to
She
play
still
devil's
sucks.
advocate with it.
She still sucks. I'll tell you what, never did I get a new student the day after Christmas break, and I was like, this kid fucking even steps out of line once.
Okay, yeah, fair.
I'm putting him
New
in a
student.
fucking pigeonhole.
Yeah, I mean, in my school, detention is somewhat of a big deal. I mean, there's kids who
Yeah.
get it all the time and don't give a shit because they just get it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But like for like a brainy, nerdy girl that they hammered in
Yep.
a lot
So
to us
nerdy.
that she was a
Fucking
nerd in this
corrects
movie.
the teacher.
That
Fuck
would be
off.
like
I
her
hated that
nightmare.
scene.
She'd be like suicidal
Yeah.
that she got detention.
Oh yeah.
Also,
Right
yeah,
away.
no, that's a
She
good
didn't
point.
even want to go to school.
Yeah.
And in the first 10 minutes, now she's getting detention.
Yeah.
And be like, she
That would've been
she
horrific
just
for her.
won't internalize that. and
Like, I
she's
just
a bad
want to
kid.
see what I can do.
She would have,
here.
in real life, she would have been in tears.
Yeah.
She would have been inconsolable.
But they're like,
Preach
not a
it.
big deal. But like, yeah, detentions go on your record.
And was she giving out 15-minute detentions?
Yeah.
Yeah, what the?
Well, we also established she was just giving out detentions because she wanted free labor to work.
you
on
can
her
get
sets.
nothing
What can
done
you
in
get done in
15
15
minutes.
minutes?
Nothing. Absolutely not. You
Absolutely
can
not.
barely like open up a paint can and start for the next person painting those scents.
Well, it looks like they're just fucking around anyway
Oh yeah, because they don't know how to do it.
the whole time.
But
That's what
also,
theater kids do is they fuck
I will
around.
say, free labor, great. As a ex-drama teacher, I would never trust a non-theater kid to paint a set or to
Or
do
somebody that you're
anything.
making do it for detention.
punishment.
Yes,
Yeah.
They're
never.
not gonna do it well.
Never. Not even fold programs.
Especially on flimsy circumstances too. It's not even like they did anything super bad. It's just like
Yeah.
they're on their cell phone reading a text
Yeah.
message.
They could
I've
staple
never seen
papers
kids
for
just
me.
Give their cell phones away so easily either. That's not realistic.
No.
You ever try to take a cell phone away from a
Well,
kid? Fuck.
back then,
then you
what
could-
cell
it was
phones
easier.
were like
Nowadays, it's a lot
$2.
harder.
I disagree. I disagree.
Nowadays, it's
I
like
was
Gollum
in high
in the
school
ring.
in
If you take
2006, and I'll tell you what, my friends didn't want to get up their phones either. Not easily.
I was terrified to get caught with my phone when I was in high school.
same.
Like terrified. And now they
have
don't
that same
care.
fear anymore.
They don't. They don't because it's such a thing now. Man, what a
else,
time.
though? Is there anything else you wanted to specific? You said you could go forever. I've covered pretty much everything I
Man.
need to say.
I hit most of my points.
But I know you have. I'm just gonna let you let loose, Amber.
I just like I think on a personal note, it's just haunted me for so long and it will not die.
Yeah. it's
Like
never gonna
even
die.
now,
Things
teenagers
that haunt you are already dead.
But like how old is someone who was born in 2006? How old are they now? Let's do some math here.
As of today.
As of today,
They're 18.
they're 8. Yeah. So like some of these teenagers who have been bugging me are like, we're not even 5 years old.
Yeah.
and they still want to do this musical. It will not go away.
And it'll stick around forever as long as it's still a
And-
profitable franchise.
And you know what?
And
I'm
it's
all
Disney, so
about
there's access to it whenever you want.
yeah, I am all about the longevity of art, but like, man,
This ain't art.
man, no, but it's just not
This needs to
cohesive.
die.
If you took all of the parts and like separated them, yeah, like you know what, soaring, flying, great piece of music. Not gonna lie, but when you just there's no cohesive. There's no like things tying it together. There was no moment in it where I was like, so cute.
Oh yeah, I felt nothing.
Yes, I think that was it.
I felt comedic joy, but the scenes weren't trying to make
There's
me
no
feel
emotional
that.
punches. When the dad,
Yeah.
did the dad even say anything to him at the end, or he was just like, you know what, you can be.
He was
saint.
about to say something
in
and
the
he left.
locker room, I think, like right near the end, where he was like, "You probably like this because I'm like this." It was real quick,
I cried at that part.
inconsolably.
Yeah.
We couldn't get you to stop.
Great, love that. But yeah, so and it almost makes me ask the question: is it more of a cult classic for our generation rather than like a musical?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I will say, like, Rocky Horror Picture Show, love it,
Cult classic,
but it's awful.
but yeah,
It's so bad, but I love it. You know?
it's better than this.
Oh no, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that that's the thing. I can't remember if we said this before on the pod where we were just talking about it. It's either you love it or you hate it. I think that's where we're at, and like I can accept that. I just wish it would stop haunting me forever.
Yeah.
That might be because of my music ed background. I think it made it worse. If I was just a normal human out in the world, I probably wouldn't be bothered by it as much.
I thought it sucked.
Okay, great.
Though I was entertained, though I had fun watching with you guys.
I thought it was fine.
I won't watch
But
it
like I would
again.
never watch it alone in my room like on a Tuesday night.
Right.
You know, it's only enjoyed
Wednesday.
with pals. And even Rocky Horror Picture Show, I don't think I watch like by myself.
Yeah, last
like
time I
that's a
saw
group
that,
movie.
I was in a theater. Like I like
Yeah,
the
like, that's a
event.
group
I
activity.
like Rocky Horror Picture
Yeah.
Show. I've tried watching it the whole way through several times and failed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Like, I
there's
just can't get
there's
through
no
it.
driving thing, and there's just so many
I
like
think
dead
I've only
moments.
ever
Yeah.
watched that like things for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then they did like a TV remake with
Oh, yeah.
Victoria Justice. I saw that one.
I
night.
might be wrong, but at least for me, I remember liking High School Musical 2 better than the first one.
Well, then I think
Man.
as
I
we
think I like the songs better. I think they're a bit more mature in their acting at this
Ooh.
point, so they,
Ooh,
that's fair.
Okay.
That's
so they
fair.
give a little bit better performance. And
Yeah.
all I remember about High School Musical 2 is two of my best friends like forcing me to watch it at a sleepover.
I think much like 2023, we made that our year to cover all the Step Up movies, and we're closing that out today.
no.
Maybe 2024 should be. We make sure before it's over we hit all
I
three High
hate
School musicals.
how much that makes sense.
Yeah, because then you're gonna have to promote another show again come June time.
In June,
so
because it's gonna be
something
juicy.
to look forward to.
It's
so High
gonna
School
be
Musical 2's on our
juicy.
horizon. I
Yep.
remember nothing about 3. Like
They graduated.
literally, I deleted that movie from my brain. I don't even know the plot. I couldn't tell you anything about what happened.
I don't think the plots are memorable, but we'll see
Yeah,
when we get.
because
to the
I
next
think that
one.
I didn't think that I deleted the first plot from my brain, but we were watching. I was like, I remember none of this.
Because there isn't one.
Oh, maybe that's there's no cohesiveness.
Yeah.
But I remember moments from the second movie.
I just remember that TikTok, and it's with Zac Efron on the golf course, but like no music.
Yeah.
No music, and it's just like this is what he would sound like if it wasn't a musical. It was him like going and like whatever the song was.
Yeah.
That was really funny. That's what I
fun.
remember. But
I
that
think
happened
I'll
in like
watch
the
it
past
like
year.
that.
We'll find it later.
Okay. Sweet.
We'll post it on the Patreon.
Yeah.
That
check
is a
it
fun
out on our
endeavor to
Patreon.
like take musicals and take like the background, or take any movie scene and take like the background music out of it and realize
Yes.
how awkward
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. Or
Yes.
like I like the ones where they take the laugh tracks out. Like it's Friends, but like no laugh track.
Yeah,
It's
so
just-
it's just-
people just
It
sound
makes it
fucking
so
crazy.
serious.
Yeah. All right. Well, are any more closing statements on High School Musical? I'm sure
I think I'm okay.
You think you're okay?
I think
You
I'm
said
okay.
all
I think I got
all
it
there's
out. I
nice
think
to
I got the
say.
important
Alright.
things out. I'm going to apologize to some people whose feelings I hurt, but like we'll get there.
That's fair.
Yeah, there are some
Yeah,
stands
if you like
out
this
there.
movie, power to you.
Yeah, like I'm glad that you can find
Us.
enjoyment.
People near our 30s, not so much for us. Don't feel it like we used to. But
Even though we were like the target demographic when it came out.
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I look at those people in that movie, and I know that they're like kids then, but like I still see them as like my peers because I know we're the same age
Oh yeah.
in real life.
But Zac Efron, grown up in Gray the Showman,
Way better.
he hit his stride.
He certainly came a long way.
He is a whole person now.
Yeah.
He knows who he is.
I don't like The Greatest Showman. Yeah.
That's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole nother podcast.
Wow, that's a good one. I like that one.
Oh man.
Yeah, then you
The
have-
more you know.
Apparently Vanessa Hudgens is still doing stuff. I don't think Ashley Tisdale is. I'm sure she's doing something.
I mean,
but
she
not
has to be doing something for
not
the people, you know?
not like Zac Efron.
I think they're
does.
making a Phineas and Ferb movie.
I think she did too. I think she did put out a new
Okay,
album.
so I take that back. She's still doing stuff.
but
They're
like,
making
what
another
is she
Phineas and Ferb season or another movie or something.
Something like that.
But she'll probably be in that because she's can't.
Right, yeah.
Oh,
She's cast as the same character in everything she does.
Gotcha.
She's a little nicer in Sweet Life.
I'm sure she's a great person.
I'm sure
Oh, yeah.
she's a great person.
Yeah,
The
shade
people
to
who-
They're
Ashley
great
Tisdale.
people.
The people
Yeah,
who
no
play
shade
the
on her.
nastiest characters, though, are normally the best people in life.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
The kid who played Joffrey Baratheon.
Nice guy, apparently.
They said he's like the nicest guy
So
ever.
it makes
and
you
he
a good
gets
actor
death threats
if you can
still.
really sell
Yeah.
it.
You see, so
Okay.
cool, cool,
All right.
cool.
Well, then we're gonna hop off one more time,
Yeah.
and finally put an end to our year-long plan and watch the last Step Up movie.
Woo!
Step Up All In, Braden's favorite movie series, even though he hasn't seen the first one.
I'm so glad. I'm so happy
Amber
and
hasn't seen
excited.
any of them.
But I'm also excited to only do 25% of the work, but still reap 100% of the rewards because we're closing it out.
Sure are. So
Yeah.
Came at the perfect time.
But maybe you'll want to go back and watch the other ones after.
Yeah,
you
this
watch
could
them.
be
I'm
inspiring.
sure I
Maybe you'll be a
I
step
might.
up head.
I'm sure I might.
all right then. Until we come back, everyone, we'll see you in a little bit.
Yeah.
You picked the wrong night to get in my face, little man.
Are you having a tough day? It must suck to be hot for 5 minutes and realize that your flash mob ain't nothing but a joke.
Okay, yeah, we got that. That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, we've been there and done that. Let this go. Let's just go.
No. We came here to dance, right? Why don't we line it up for these clowns? Come on, let's go.
All right, we have just finished Step Up All
What
In.
a marathon.
Fuck,
A film.
what a day. Thoughts? Go.
Cinema.
Take it away, Braden. This is your
Yeah.
thing.
hmm
Yeah, so I probably rank this in one of my higher tiers of the Step Up movies just because I really like some of the dance numbers. The other ones are not so great. Like overall, I think Step Up 2 still has the best dance. I still think the last dance in Step Up 2 is like the
Yeah,
best of the Step Up
Is the
franchise.
best, yeah.
Or at least it had the most impact to me.
Mhm,
Mhm.
mhm.
I will say I didn't like the love story when I first watched the movie. I still am not like crazy about it, but out of all the other love, because none of the love stories are good.
Great.
Besides like
Right.
Moose and Allison Stoner a little bit in the third movie.
Yeah.
But I bought into this one the most, and I think it's mainly to do with the benefit that we have, like these are both established characters in our minds.
Right.
And so like it's more interesting to see them get together because we've had a whole movie for each of them to build up their characters, even though they don't have a lot of character work.
We do
Like-
know them.
We know them, like we're rooting for
Yeah.
them. And I also like that it wasn't like super easy right away. Like you could tell that there's a lot of like sexual tension there the whole time.
Mhm.
But like
The
for
whole
most of the
time.
movie-
Yeah, until like literally the end of the movie, they didn't really get together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there wasn't the same old, because in the other Step Up movies, like it's over the top, kind of like the relationship.
Yeah, it's almost like
work.
they fought, which makes it funnier that like none of those relationships.
had the
We know
best.
canonically none of those relationships worked out, except maybe Channing Tatum's in the first movie.
You're right.
Mm.
Yes. Yeah. So Braden has a criteria as to which he ranks the
I do.
Step Up films.
Great.
So throw out that criteria, and then we should probably explain the plot of the movie.
Yeah,
And
so
then
you have,
we'll go from there.
you have to judge the movie in two different ways. You have to first judge it for how good was the dancing.
Okay.
And then you have to judge it for how good was the movie, like how good was the plot,
The
and
plot,
the
yeah.
other things surrounding it, because it can be
And
dog
then-
shit plot, but like they'll throw in some good dance, because these movies are about dancing. It's about watching people dance.
Yeah.
So like even if they have good dance scenes, it's redeemable.
And the
But
third
also,
was
like-
soundtrack, right?
Yeah, soundtrack.
criteria.
Yeah, third
Oh.
was soundtrack. Like how great were the songs that they used for the dancing?
Oh, this should be in the welcome packet.
And how I would rank that. I mean, if it's I found all pieces to be not as good as I've found them to be in other movies. Like, I wasn't thrilled with the soundtrack. I wasn't thrilled with a lot of the dance numbers. The plot was fine. It kind of hinged on we got everybody back.
Yeah.
And there is a story.
These are all
I just-
characters you know.
Yeah.
I felt like with 4, you didn't see it, but with Step Up Revolution, it felt like they started having more ideas, and this one was more like the idea is we're going to get everybody from all the movies together, but what they're going to be doing is just another dance competition. And the dance competition is different in this one. They play with it a little, but it's still, I would have liked to see them. I made a joke in the last podcast where, like, I said they were going to end racism in the next one. It just felt like with the last one, it was they were trying to stop
Gentrification.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they did. So I guess maybe they
solved the
go
issue.
in that direction a little more. And it's fine. They don't have to. It's just I just didn't like it as much. And the soundtrack, I've heard better songs in other
Poppy,
movies.
but I don't know. It felt like they tried to go safer with the soundtrack, but it wasn't. It didn't hit as hard.
Yeah.
Right. And that's how I felt even about the dancing. It seemed like the dancing to me, it was more like artistic. They were going for a more artistic style of dancing. But man, I just like it better in the other movies when they just fucking do it. You know what I
Get
mean?
it.
Let loose. And
Yeah.
it felt slower in this movie. It didn't hold my attention as much. I still liked the movie,
Yeah.
but it's just compared to what I've seen already, all aspects are like, I've seen it done better.
The movie's definitely bloated. Especially, they probably could have cut out one or two of those montages. But we'll get into that. We'll get into montages more. But
Yeah. And coming from a perspective of not having the other 4 movies to lean opinions on,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this movie leaned on the fact that they're all reuniting.
Yeah.
And I don't have that subtext.
right, so you're like, I don't care.
Yeah. So I was just like, the whole time I'm like, wait, how much plot am I missing?
Yeah.
You know, which is fine. And again, like, it was a good movie, but it was also, it's just kind of like there. I do like the artistic type of dancing, but I think that's because I'm a theater gal.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's why. But yeah, I can see soundtrack. I feel like they were people pleasing with the soundtrack.
Yes,
For
that's
real.
a great
Yep.
way to term it.
Yeah, for sure. Overall, I mean, it is a movie that happened. It is a movie that I watched.
Sure is.
I don't regret watching it, but I do not know if I will watch it again. Now, if I watch the first 4,
Mm-hmm.
I might finish it
might
out.
help that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You might be able to watch and get a little.
Yeah, I'd
more
love
out
to
of it.
circle back.
They're all the same, but very different from each other in the same way.
Yeah.
It felt very Pitch Perfect to me.
Yeah.
But not as funny.
Yeah, I'd still say so. Here's how I'd go with like the plots of the movies. The first one kind of set the bar or set the stage, I suppose. 2 took that same concept but made the dancing like way bigger and way more fun.
Yeah.
And then 3 just kind of stayed stagnant. 3's a very like.
Three's very nothing.
Three's-
It's probably my
I
least
like
favorite.
the dancing in it more than I liked it in this one. It has things about it that I liked about it, but it was like it did nothing for the series anymore. It was just a stepping stone to 4.
The biggest thing 3 gave us was the Argentine twins.
Right. Yeah.
Ooh.
The characters I like from 3.
Yeah.
The ones that get to become part of it. But like in the third movie, Amber, there's. It goes deep into like these dance gangs, and it's very just like there's street dance offs. There's like they're at a bar.
There's dance off ambush.
Moose is taking a piss, and like some guy dance offs, like a guy with a boombox fucking attached
Not
to his
the
coat comes in, and
boombox.
it's just there were things in that movie that I thought were cool that like they could have brought back for this one, but they didn't really. Like there's dance crews, but it's just like
It's another dance competition. Yeah.
Explain the plot of the movie. You do that part.
So Step Up, All In starts off with Sean, who was the main character from Step Up 4 Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
And he's with his crew, the Mob. They're trying to get jobs in LA, and it's not working out. And then he ends up having to leave the crew. Like, they want to go back to Miami, and he wants to stay in LA and keep trying at dancing. And so he needs a new crew. And then that's where he meets Moose, because Moose conveniently also now lives in LA with his parents, which he did not ever live in LA before, but that's neither here nor there. They needed that character in the movie there. So he meets up with Moose, and then Moose, I actually always miss this part of like how he knows who Andy is, or like or how he like knew where Andy was,
where she was
like
at.
where she was stationed.
Well,
I guess.
I'd imagine they stayed friends after the second movie.
Yeah, I would hope.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
Yeah. Anyways, he meets up with Andy, and then Andy calls the crew from Step Up 3 and Step Up 2 to come in and be his new crew. And so he's with it's kind of the main lead from 4, but it's most of the side characters from 2, which I think they're more established characters, so that's probably why they did that, because they're like the main crew throughout the whole movie, and then like the Mob kind of takes on an antagonist role for briefly in the movie. But they come across this dance competition called Vortex that, if you win it, you get a show at a Las Vegas hotel.
Yes.
So that would like make them a lot of money. That would give them actual jobs that are dancing jobs, which is also like,
what a concept.
Yeah.
One of the like concepts of this movie is that, they want to make a career in dance, but they've all failed at it, but they all quit their day jobs to go all in on the Vortex competition.
Wow.
Yeah. You didn't know that title had double meanings.
Is that why that's there? I like that.
There we
now.
go. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Things are coming together.
It's not just all in, all the step up people.
Yeah. All the cards on the table.
It's like, because it takes place in the dance competition takes place in Las Vegas, so they're
all in.
All in, baby.
Yeah.
What a time.
And they ultimately go and
Do we spoiler?
in the competition. And
yes, spoiler, they do. I think win.
They do win. They ultimately get the show because of some, just like with all the movies, a little fuck shit happens and they win. And that's the story.
Yeah.
You get a few
that is the plot
pieces here and there of a little, like, there's some your classic the romance isn't working out sections.
Yep.
Multiple characters.
The trust issues.
Yep.
Actually, I would say they kind of had like 4. They had 2 romantic subplots.
Yeah.
And 2 subplot romantic subplots between other characters.
Right.
Which one was like came out of nowhere, and we were like, they didn't build that at all.
No.
Yeah, they like touched on it and then left it, and then they were like, why not?
But I think the other, we'll call them tertiary romantic subplots.
Yes.
There's a lot of romantic subplots in this movie. The other one I really liked. The one,
the robot one.
Yeah,
that was my favorite.
There were robot dancers that hooked up at the end as robots.
They
robots. Are people, but they do robot dancing.
They are always
they
in
live
the character
robot dancing.
Robot dancing.
They express themselves. They're like one step up from a mime.
Ooh, step up.
Hey.
So just here's just another one of my thoughts on the whole movie overall. I've never been so just like tired of when it's time for a dance routine. Like, I just felt like they did them a little too long compared to the other
too
movies.
often.
I didn't care about them. There was never, at the beginning of the movie, there was really never a purpose. They were just like, here they are dancing. Like, you could say they're practicing, but in the other movies, I just felt like they built to those, and they just went on for really long. And I don't know, I just wasn't in it like I was with the other
very much
ones.
like they tried to, they have to keep one-upping themselves and topping themselves, so they keep getting bigger and bigger and throwing more and more dance scenes in, because they're like, that's what the people want. But it does get a little oversaturated with dance at times.
Yeah.
Especially when you throw in all the montage.
Like, if you turn down some of the montages and some of the dance numbers, if you just cut a little bit from those, man, this movie loses a lot of time.
I would actually like to calculate, because I would agree with Amber when we were watching the movie that like this movie's likely 30% of the runtime is montages.
Yes. Yeah. I would agree.
I would like to do the math.
That, when you said that, that was when I'd already thought like, fuck,
yeah.
These go on a bit too long.
And there's all kinds of montages in this movie too. There's happy montages, lots of dancing montages. There's sad montages. It's just like,
I feel like there should be like 1.5 per movie max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Even the half, like, it would really it would have to be a good half.
Yeah, one like decently long montage, one like half montage, just like in and out.
Yeah.
Like three scenes. Yeah.
Because I feel like from a writing standpoint, it's just a little like we don't really want to like write all this out, so we're just gonna like show it happening.
Exactly. That's what I felt like. It was
Like let's
this is
throw
all
another
padding.
dance in there,
Yeah.
but like make the dance a montage.
I feel like that's exactly how this movie was written. It was like, we have nothing for this sections. We just need to reflect that they're trading, and you know, we have to pad the runtime, so we'll throw in a montage here.
Yeah, because if you think about it too, on the editing side, it actually might make it easier because they don't have to line up the music to the dancing either.
True.
That's like a huge...
Yeah, saves it's probably a big cost
That's
saving measure.
yeah, cost saving, time saving, because it's much
Also,
easier to do a
they could afford
montage.
the fucking sand pit and chandeliers at the end.
Yeah, they had to save money there.
They went big. I'd say that last dance number. I knew they'd get me in the last one, and I did really like the last dance number. It still doesn't stop. Like even as I was watching, I was like,
doesn't save it.
If somebody came in and did this dance number from the end of Step Up 2, they'd win this competition because that one's fucking crazy. This one's better than everything else in the rest of said movie, but still didn't win it over for me.
I agree.
Yeah,
I did like it though, but it was a lot of like gimmicks.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I kind of like the gimmicks, but also I could see that they were like leaning on it. Like if we didn't have the fire or if we didn't have the sand, would it be just as good?
One of my favorite aspects about the Step Up movies is that they're not serious movies, but they take themselves very seriously.
So seriously.
Super seriously, and that's what's kind of charming about them, is that, that's the only way
Like,
you can sell this.
cute.
You can't be like self-aware and be like, well, they did make one self-aware joke when they first met Andy, and Moose was like, does everything have to end in a dance battle?
yeah. It's like absolutely with these things.
Yeah, I felt like that was kind of them poking fun at themselves.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's taken super serial, and I love it.
Fair.
But yeah, it is. They're not serious movies. They're gimmicky, and you really just are there for the dancing, and the plot is all just side dressing to get to the dancing.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like there's a lot better ways to showcase dance, if you really think about it. Like, do you need a movie to showcase dance? That's a bigger question.
Yeah.
I think if you watch some of the other Step Up movies, you probably
Fair.
yeah.
Fair. It does make it
Those
pretty
ones
accessible, though.
Yeah, those ones showcase dance, and it's
The
I
other
don't know,
Step Up
just
movies
better.
are better
I
at
think.
weaving in dancing to the narrative.
Okay.
Especially Step Up 2, I would say. It's like the dance,
Yeah.
every time that they dance, it means something, or it it affects the plot in some way.
Exactly.
And a lot of this, they're just like, we don't know what to do, so just a few scenes of them freestyle dancing.
Yeah. But I will say it does serve a purpose, because any movie like this that highlights like a certain thing, that's like feeding to the consumer.
Yeah.
Because like fans of this are going to be like, oh, like so you think you can dance? Like, ooh, I saw that in this movie one time, so it kind of like feeds into each other, just like High School Musical.
Whoa.
It's feeding into the
It's all
consumer.
connected.
Yeah.
It's all connected.
So like it serves its purpose for sure.
You did mention that you felt more things watching this movie.
I
than
did.
watching
Yeah,
High School
I will give
Musical.
it that.
Yeah.
I will give it that. There were moments where it was like,
Yeah. We're like, what?
like the drama was there. It was real. I don't know if all the acting matched it all the time, but they did act enough for me to feel things, anything.
Yeah. I'd say the romance of the lead attractive male and the lead attractive female, Andy and Sean. I know their names.
Yes.
There you go.
I like that. That was a different storyline. They were both people that had relationships. They fell apart for
They've
whatever
been
reasons.
around the block.
And they had to find their way. Like Andy wasn't just going to fall in love with him because he started to sound like the last guy. So like they found their way around. I didn't hate that little storyline.
I thought it
fine.
was ironic that both of their relationships fell apart because of dance.
Yeah.
Because Sean's boo from the previous movie went on tour. Like, she was a good dancer. She like went on tour and left him.
Mm-hmm.
And Chase, Andy also mentioned, like, the only thing he cared about was dance, not her. So like
that's no
why
good
they
either.
fell apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No good.
But then they're like, you know what? Let's start another dance relationship.
Trust
We're
issue.
both very
And they
dedicated
didn't just
to
hop
dance.
into it. They accepted it by the end.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
They
that
took a
was
moment.
different.
They looked at it. They assessed the situation.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, dance is great. You're great. Let's be great together.
Yeah. Let's dance together.
Yeah.
I will say, I think that the Moose and Allison Stoner subplot was entirely unnecessary.
Not
They should have cut it.
necessary at all.
Yeah,
Have
no.
it happen. Show me their relationship, but to show like a reason why they might be falling
The
apart.
only
Plot.
reason why
one
they
time.
did that, the only reason why they did that is to up the stakes for that second to last dance battle of Moose. Oh no, Moose is not
You could
here.
have got Moose out of there in a way that their relationships didn't.
He
have
could
to
have
be
gotten
something
injured.
multiple.
Or his
Or-
fucking
or
job
she-
that was a
Right.
whole issue the whole time.
They brought
Yeah.
up the job thing and then just never
They dropped it
did anything
afterwards.
With it.
Yeah, that's what I was
That
because
could have
like
been a
Moose
reason.
goes to Vegas then and just
Yeah.
he's not at his job.
Is he still
so,
going
like,
in 2 hours early to
did he
make up
just
for his job?
Did he just take a week of vacation days or something?
I don't fucking know. Yeah, that was weird. They could have. Yeah, they should have.
But that was the only reason why they did is to up the ante.
Because they just made them get back together so easily. She was
So
just
easily.
like, it wasn't just the kiss. It was how happy you were, and I just want you to be happy. I'm mad and left because I want you to be happy.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Great.
then they're back. It's
and we're
unnecessary.
back.
I also don't know why
Weird.
they refused to put Allison Stoner in more than one
More of the movie
dance montage.
in the third movie and this
She's
movie.
great.
She is a character the whole movie, but doesn't dance the whole movie. And then there's a reason that gets her to dance at the end. It's just like have that bitch dancing the whole time.
She's great.
She is a
She's
dancer.
a good dancer.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's as good as any of the other ones.
Yeah.
That could have been
And
point
a
too.
recognizable face.
Yes.
Allison Stoner's a recognizable face outside of Step Ups. Where like
Probably
the
one of the
people we
biggest names in
recognize
this
in this
franchise.
is because we've seen the other Step Ups.
I know. She was like
So
the only
make
one
her
in the
do
whole
more shit.
movie. She was the only one in the whole movie for me where I was like, wait, I know her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is she from?
Yeah.
Oh, Cheaper by a Dozen.
She's
Got
actually,
you.
Fun fact about her character is she is in the first Step Up movie. She's Channing Tatum's little sister.
Oh,
And
cute.
technically
Adorable.
That family lineage still carries on through all the Step Up movies.
Right.
Even though we don't
That's
get
cute.
Channing Tatum, we do get his little
That is a
sister.
bummer.
Yeah.
It's a bummer.
Yeah, these movies could not afford Channing Tatum
No,
after the first movie.
no, absolutely not. He was too busy doing that little bull movie for Fernando. Ferdinand.
Isn't that John Cena?
Never seen
Oh,
it.
wait, it is John
Yeah.
Cena. Never mind.
You got your tall, white,
I
strong
did.
man mixed
He's
up.
too busy doing
My
Magic
bad.
Mike.
Yeah. He's Magic Mike.
My bad.
Yeah.
The only final thing I was going to say is to compare it to Pitch Perfect. I think the difference between quality of those movies is that it's a lot easier to find actors who can sing and act. It's very hard
So
to find
hard.
professional dancers who can act.
I agree.
Because I feel like
Full
with
send.
professional dancers, they just, I don't know,
They only have time for dance.
yeah, like they can't do anything else. Whereas like you can make time for singing and oftentimes those go hand in
Yeah,
hand.
exactly.
So,
That's what I was going to say. They go together.
Yeah, because
Like,
as
Up,
usual,
up, do up, shoo, Yep.
as usual with these movies, they try to give the least amount of lines possible to like you could tell who are just
Ugh.
like the pure dancers. Like
Rough.
these people are not actors.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do the same thing when I'm directing a show. Gotta make sacrifices.
That's a good note. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah,
because,
That's all. That's
yeah.
all I have to say.
There's a few sprinkles of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You made the point there that these are my lines and I am reading them. Which, I don't expect them to. And luckily, they don't have too much to do.
No,
They leave the acting mostly to the people that can also act.
right. The
Sean,
leads are passable.
Sean
Yeah.
has moments in and out. Sean can act, but if he has to do big moments, not so much. But everybody else seemed to do pretty well.
Yeah.
Cool.
For real. Well, Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Cool beans. Thank you for inviting me to the end of the saga.
Yeah. We had hoped to get you in sooner, but schedules just didn't line up the right way.
Life is hard.
But we got this one, and
Yeah.
we're glad we got you on for the finale
Oh yeah.
of the Step Up
Honored to be here.
anthology as we close the page on this chapter and maybe open a new page to doing High School Musicals for the rest of
We're just gonna do music and dance movies from now on.
Well, no.
That is some nerd
We
shit.
will get back to nerd shit for the for a while
Not
after
music
this.
nerd
but yeah. But yeah, thank you for joining us tonight, Amber. It has
Yes,
Yeah,
been
it's
a
been
lovely day.
lovely being here.
Do you have anything you just want to plug real quick before we close out? I know you talked a lot about your thing, but if you want to just throw it in one more time before we say goodnight.
Yeah, absolutely. Crave by Sarah Kane, Carnegie Stage at the end of January and the first weekend in February. Go follow us at Elsewhere PGH and give us a little donation. Even a small donation could get you a free t-shirt, maybe. So go check out the website.
Awesome. We are Nerd Shit in the Dark.
In the dark.
We are on Instagram. We are on Well, you can follow us on Instagram to learn about when episodes are coming out and things that we're doing. But we're also on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. Wherever podcasts really are, I'm trying to put us on. So just look around. You'll find us.
And you are in the dark.
We're on YouTube. Send us an email at nerdshitinthedark@gmail.com and tell us things you want us to watch or check out or play or do, and we'll talk about them on the show. Yeah, that's all I got. You going?
That's all I
Cool
got.
All right,
beans.
shitters. Good
Cool
night.
beans.
Sleep tight, and do not let those shit bugs bite. Take care.